Securities offered through Securities America Inc. member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Storm Fisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
Dan, what do you think are the top 3 reasons people buy from us at Inspired Closets?
Katie, that's easy. Our 3D design software, 4 ironclad guarantees, and our lifetime warranty.
Plus, we're honest and transparent in our pricing. We don't over-design. And we're a local family-owned business.
Clients need to know that we are a different closet company. We are designed completely around them.
And we're a wife and husband team.
Visit us at inspiredclosetsmke.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. It's February 14th. Your top story, a super celebration turns scary.
Mike Spalding, a springtime problem pops up ahead of schedule.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we have some delays coming out of the Marquette on westbound 94 all the way to about Hawley Road. The eastbound side, so far, so good. Everything's looking good. 41 and 43, all nice and clear as well. Couple pockets of heavy traffic on the southbound side of 4394, right out of the Marquette and right around Beecher. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, a rain-snow mix after midnight, a low of 34 degrees. Tomorrow, a little bit of that mix early, 1 to 3 inches at the most, and that's mostly north of Milwaukee, a high of 38 tomorrow. It is currently 45 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, chaos amid a celebration in Kansas City. Police say several people have been shot attending the Super Bowl parade for the Kansas City Chiefs. ABC's Alex Perez has more.
We understand there were gunshots fired somewhere outside of Union Station here. Whether anyone was injured, whether there are shooting victims there, we still do not know that information. But you can imagine when there are thousands of people gathered here, everyone's celebrating, they've been here for hours, and then suddenly you hear gunfire. Of course, chaos erupts.
2 suspects have been arrested. We'll continue to follow this story throughout the day on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
It may just be February 14th, but a springtime problem's already cropping up across the city of Milwaukee. That being potholes. TMJ4's Mary Jo Ola.
Alderman Lamont Westmoreland and the Public Works Committee have now directed the Department of Public Works to lay out their plan to better address the issue. Now, DPW says right now they're balancing the early demand to respond with lower staffing levels than previous years, while they are still hiring to fill those vacancies.
It's a first come, first serve as best we can. We try to be efficient about scheduling crews. So sometimes we get to things a little bit earlier, a little bit later.
Now, DPW in any case is strongly encouraging anyone to report potholes over the phone, online, or using their mobile app.
And the Department of Public Works says that the busiest pothole filling time of the year is still for them mid-March through April.
A massive tax package is heading through the state legislature.
The 4 bills would expand Wisconsin's second lowest tax bracket by more than 1 million Wisconsinites, exempt up to $75,000 of income for retirees, and expand tax credits for filers married or with children. While Governor Tony Evers has remained non-committal about the bills, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos said even just one bill passing would be acceptable.
Worst case scenario, he can pick several out of the categories of tax relief to be able to sign them into law and give the relief that Wisconsinites need.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The White House, meanwhile, urging negotiators to continue working at a ceasefire deal in Gaza. Israel's delegation has decided not to return to Egypt this week for negotiations. This as the IDF continues a campaign in Rafah, where civilians once again are being caught in the crossfire in Israel's war with Hamas. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says Israel needs a, quote, credible plan for any military operation in Rafah to avoid civilian casualties.
On Capitol Hill, House Speaker Mike Johnson is renewing his promise not to bring a Senate bill that has funding for Ukraine and Israel to a vote in his chamber.
Ukraine and Israel funding passed the Senate this week with bipartisan support. 22 Republicans backed it. But Speaker Mike Johnson said he's not bringing it up for a vote in the House.
The Republican-led House will not be jammed or forced into passing a foreign aid bill that was opposed by most Republican senators and does nothing to secure our own border.
House Republicans made a similar call to link border security to funding for Ukraine months ago. That started bipartisan negotiations in the Senate, the product of which Johnson ultimately rejected. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 3:04.
This report is sponsored by Creative Planning. Give your wealth a second look. CreativePlanning.com.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Is it time to give your home a new look?
Absolutely.
Get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling has a design team ready to help with all flooring and remodeling needs, including tub to shower conversions. Want to create your dream kitchen, including cabinets? How about the rec room? Adair Floors and Remodeling has been family run in Franklin for over 65 years. For floors and all home remodeling needs, get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin, and online at adairfloors.com.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they called a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at AdventKnows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Planning for the future should include your pets. What will happen to them if something happens to you? From setting up pet trusts to securing a caretaker to the best place to keep your pet's information, the Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, has important resources you need. Download their free pet planning guide and register to attend a seminar led by planning experts on February 29th at 5:30 p.m., hosted by Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. Plan for your pets. Learn more at hawspets.org.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, good afternoon. Glad that you're with us. Mike Spalding is with me here in the studio. Julian and a whole gang of people are in the newsroom. Debbie's in the traffic center, and Sam is producing the show this afternoon. All right, let's get to it.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, Mike, where do we start?
We'll start with the workforce, John. It could soon be much easier for 14 and 15-year-olds to strap on those bootstraps and get a job here in the state.
So right now, if you're 14 or 15, you need a work permit to work in the state. It used to be, even if you're 16 or 17, you need to apply for and pay for a work permit. Governor Walker got rid of that for 16 and 17-year-olds. But right now, if you're 14 or 15, you still need the permit. Well, the Republican-controlled state assembly approved a bill that would eliminate that. You wouldn't need a work permit. You would just need to apply for a job like any of the rest of us, and you could get hired. The Senate had already passed it. The governor has indicated he will likely veto this. A lot of the laws would stay in place that protect young workers. That's what proponents say. They say it's important to point out that there would still be child labor laws. They would be prohibited from working in dangerous jobs, so on and so forth. But those on the other side say this is not good for kids, that we need to have more protective measures in place. The governor has not commented on this iteration of the bill, but in the past he's indicated it won't happen. We, of course, will let you know what happens with this. Might ask Jeff Mayers about it, too, when he joins us coming up at 4:15.
Do you remember how old you were when you got your first job?
I was 16.
Okay.
And I was a page in a library. And I loved it. My job was to refile the books when they got brought in. And I would take a little cart back with the books. And I would usually sit in there and just read a book. My boss, after like an hour, would come looking and be like, You're supposed to be putting them away, not sitting reading the books. How old were you?
I was 14.
What were you doing at 14?
Detasseling corn.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
It was like a bunch of kids my age did it. I wanted a new skateboard. My mom said, we got to work for it. So 14 years old, you'd go to a gas station. A school bus would pick you up, and you'd like walk up and down a field for 8 hours a day pulling the tassels out of corn. I don't even know if people still do it, but that was job number one, and welcome to the workforce for me.
Do you remember what you got paid?
I think they paid us in cash. It was $10 an hour, I think. So the pay actually at that time.
What? $10 an hour?
It was really good pay, but because the work was terrible. And I will tell you, the number of kids on the bus for day 1 and the number of kids on the bus for day 5, drastically different. I think we could have like spread out on each seat. There was like 6 of us left by the end of week 1. It's hard.
So that first job in the library, I made $3.35 an hour. And that was the federal minimum wage, was $3.35 an hour. All these people, all these soft people around here going like, I need $15 an hour. I need $20 an hour.
I don't know if Julian's more shocked that you work for $3.75 an hour or that there was a thing called the library page. I'm not quite sure where he's at.
All right, what's the second story?
Catholics are making some tough decisions today, John. The Archbishop not making it easy.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Ash Wednesday is today. Valentine's Day is today. If you're Catholic on Ash Wednesday, you're supposed to fast. You're supposed to not eat meat. You're supposed to do certain things because it is a mandatory holiday in the Catholic Church, holy day, in the Catholic Church. Well, the Archbishop came out and issued a statement saying, I'm not giving dispensation. You need to fast. You need to abstain from meat. You need to be good Catholics. What I find interesting in all this is, in the past, the Archbishop has granted dispensation when St. Patrick's Day falls on one of the Catholic holidays. He has said, all right, it's St. Patrick's Day, so you can drink your beer, you can eat your meat, and then try to do better on another day that you choose. But for Valentine's Day, where's the love, Archbishop?
Now, I don't want to make light of it at all, but is confession just going to be extra busy on Sunday? I can't imagine that you made plans for Valentine's Day to go out to eat, and then you're going to cancel them. I just feel like that's a tough one.
All right, well, let's go there because I'm Catholic, so I can say this. That's a great part about being Catholic. You can pretty much do what you want, and then you just go and say, I'm sorry. I mean, that's probably not how it's supposed to work. My mom's probably going, yeah, that's not really how it works. But so no dispensation today. So if you're Catholic and you want to eat meat or not fast,
tough decision.
Good luck. Yeah, you make your own decisions. All right, what's the third thing we need to talk about?
A really cool partnership today, John, announced between the Brewers and Aurora Health.
This is very cool. Julian Johnson was at the event today, and he is with us live in the studio. What's this all about?
First of all, it's not something that the bishops will have trouble with confessing to later on. That's one thing. But basically, 3 young and recovered Aurora patients were surprised. They had no idea this was happening, but they're getting a VIP experience and going to Brewers spring training next weekend. They're going to be able to meet the players, going to be able to go on the field, do warm-ups, and all these really special things. These are all kids who 15, 13, and 11, really survived going through their treatments and things of that nature. And one of the kids, Evan, is really just excited that he'll be able to pin in things on his calendars moving forward.
Our calendar was written with all pencil things that we could do because it would get erased from treatment and stuff like MRIs. And now that there's none of that, we can finally write stuff on the calendar in pen.
Yeah, it's
so
really,
sweet.
It's great. They also got personal jerseys and everything with their names on it.
That's cool.
With their favorite numbers. They're all baseball players. One of them also played football as well. But these are some of the things that they really get to enjoy in life, and they can't wait to just be a kid again. And that's really what matters to them.
Those partnerships with our good partners in town are so important. Pat Murphy, the manager of the Brewers, will join us live on the show tomorrow afternoon at 4:15. Julian, good stuff. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Let's go back to the non-dispensation thing for a second. So
Sure.
I've been sitting here thinking about this now because I was going to have a Palermo's pepperoni pizza for dinner. And now I'm thinking I have to go cereal.
I don't think it matters.
You can have a cheese pizza.
I thought you were supposed
know.
to fast.
But I don't have a cheese pizza at home, so do I take the pepperoni off?
Take the pepperoni off, yeah.
Yeah, my wife's out of town, so I'm totally on my own.
That's usually not good.
Yeah, no, it's usually pizza or cereal, actually.
The fasting has to do with, like, you can have a small meal or two small meals that don't add up to the large meal and have one large meal. So it's fasting, but it's not fasting.
So it's not fasting like you don't eat anything.
Okay.
But it's definitely no snacking. Well, I already did that.
What if you just eat dinner really, really slowly?
Yeah.
And you put your fork and knife down after every other bite?
If that's all you
play it out
have.
for 3 years or 3 hours?
Deb, you're Catholic, right?
Yeah.
Are you fasting today?
We have
What are
an
you doing?
issue. We have an issue. It's my 15th wedding anniversary tonight.
Oh,
so
happy anniversary.
Thank you. And so we were going to do melting pot, but they kind of did a little bait and switch kind of thing where they made $99 plate for Valentine's Day special menu. We're like,
Whoa.
So we're actually, we're going to go all in. Not only are we unfortunately not fasting and not abstaining from meat, but we're going to Rodizio's.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, just
So we're
go.
gonna have the meat sweats tonight.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
right.
JC, the big guy. He knows I'm good for it.
That's what
I'll
confession's
fast later.
for.
Yeah, that's Sunday
what
Debbie's
confession's
problem. You know, you'll figure it out.
There
then.
you go.
One more question. So, do you guys buy each other Valentine's Day gifts and anniversary gifts?
It's
since you
kind
celebrate
of
both?
experiences kind of thing.
Okay.
But then we've also got, we'll do cards or we'll do something small. This one's a little bit different because, it's the big 1-5. So we're,
Oh, that's awesome.
still trying to come up with ideas.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Good stuff. I'll see you at Confession over the weekend.
There you go. I'll be there.
It is 3:15 at WTMJ. Going to switch gears up next. The latest on Israel. Is there any real chance of a hostage deal? Negotiators, including those from the United States, have been involved. Jordana Miller is with us live from Jerusalem. Up next.
The roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Ryan Stefanchek. Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. I know because they're my company. They provide the water softener in my house. I have an RO system, which means that the water coming into my house is filtered. It's crisp, clean, clear. I've got the best water in the neighborhood thanks to Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. Owners Sue and Rob are two of the greatest people you'll ever meet, and their teams are like that too. They offer friendly, convenient, budget-conscious conditioning systems. High-caliber pros, quality products, competitive pricing. They are simply the best. Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, GuthrieFryWater.com. That's the website. Let them take care of you like they take care of me. GuthrieFryWater.com.
Did you know that a confident retirement could be just an hour away? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Our firm has over 36 years of experience in partnering with clients to help accumulate and manage wealth throughout their retirement. Our comprehensive retirement planning process goes beyond specific asset management or estate planning requirements to learn about you, your passions, relationships, and lifelong goals. We truly want to understand you and your vision for retirement. Since we know that every decision matters as you prepare for retirement, we want you to walk away from this 1-hour consultation with the answers to your most critical retirement questions. When you have $750,000 or more in investable assets, we can help you identify the next steps to make sure you can retire well. If you're close to or already retired, give our office a call at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your no-obligation retirement review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations, Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac, or visit Heiser.com because today's your day.
Traffic and weather. Debbie Lazaga, how are things out there?
Well, we are seeing some delays still coming out of the Marquette interchange on westbound 94 all the way through the Stadium interchange. So give yourself a little bit of extra time there. We've also got a broken down vehicle on southbound 43 to westbound 94 off on the right shoulder. That ramp there. So it's starting to slow things down back onto 43 southbound proper. It is a bit heavy over the high-rise bridge as well. So keep that in mind if you're going to be heading down onto 4394. But overall, it's not too bad. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a winter weather advisory has been issued for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and Dodge counties midnight tonight till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tonight, the rain-snow mix starts after midnight, a low of 34 degrees. Tomorrow, it continues, a high of 38. It's done by midday. On Friday, flurries, a high of 31. Saturday, breezy, chilly, a high of 32. Sunday, sunny and mild, a high of 39 degrees. Right now, another pretty good one, partly sunny and 45 degrees. So the word out of the Middle East is that the delegation sent to Egypt from Israel to negotiate over the hostage situation will not return for more talks later this week. Jordana Miller, ABC News correspondent, is in Jerusalem and with us this afternoon. Jordana, good afternoon. What's this all about?
Israel's prime minister saying he will not send the delegation back to Cairo because he claims Hamas has still not softened their position, that they still have demands on the table, which he calls delusional. When we try to ask some of the people that are close to these negotiations what specifically he's referring to, one answer that we've heard consistently is that Hamas is asking for a huge number of Palestinian prisoners to be released in phase one for the first group of about 40 Israeli hostages. And that number could be as high as 2,000. Essentially, Hamas asking for all the women and all the children and all the Palestinians who are jailed who are over the age of 50 to be released in one foul swoop for those 40 or so Israeli women and elderly. So the number's just too high for the Israeli side. So right now it looks like we're at a kind of stalemate.
The United States, one of the countries that's been mediating those talks between Israel and Hamas, and I just read something from a senator here that said there will be no deal at all if Israel refuses to sit down and talk. Is there the chance that things could change and on short notice they could reengage?
There is a chance that they could reengage. It's worth noting that the Israeli prime minister took the decision to keep the Israeli delegation at home, but there were dissenting viewpoints. The head of Israel's spy agency, David Barnea, and the head of the Shin Bet, which is Israel's equivalent of the FBI, they both advised Netanyahu to send a delegation back to Cairo, saying that the presence of the Israelis might be enough to get Hamas to begin to soften some of its positions. Netanyahu decided not to do that. So we have to remember Netanyahu, unfortunately, he is limited in his choices by, he's under the pressure of some of those far-right leaders in his ruling coalition. And there are some decisions that Netanyahu is making that one critics say this is so that, his far-right wing party won't pull out of the government, which, bring it crashing down and Netanyahu would be out of power. His far-right leaders believe that, the war should go on, and they seem to be putting the goal of getting out the hostages second to the goal of destroying Hamas. Netanyahu has argued that those two goals can run in parallel, but, that is now a question of debate here, even if it was accepted in the very beginning of the war.
Jordana, I also wanted to ask you about the State Department here confirming that a U.S. citizen was killed in the West Bank yesterday. I think that's the second killing of an American in the occupied territory in recent weeks. Do we know anything more about that?
It was actually, it happened over the weekend. This was a teenager that was shot in his car. And, Israel is still looking into what happened. We can't get a real statement from the Israeli army yet about this. So I think it's in its very initial stages. But it is the second teenager to be killed, and just American teenager to be killed in the last month. We have to remember that ever since October 7th, Israel has really carried out almost nightly intense arrest raids all throughout the West Bank, trying to preempt any Hamas sympathizers from carrying out attacks and trying to just arrest Hamas militants. And there are hundreds of them in the West Bank. And that has led to a spiking death rate of Palestinians since the war started. It now stands at over 300. And that's because a lot of times Palestinian youth come out to clash with the army. Some are armed and some are not, and some are bad actors and some are bystanders. And it's become very, it's become very deadly and tragic also in the West Bank.
ABC's Jordana Miller in Jerusalem. Jordana, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Talk soon.
Another story that we're following is one we told you about at the top of the hour, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade taking place today in Kansas City. Shots ring out, and now, Mike, we learn that one person has died.
Yeah, the police there are saying that 9 people at least have been injured. This shooting happening near a train station. There are 2 people in custody. And, yeah, John, as you mentioned, it's still an evolving story. At least one person died right now. We do expect to learn more from Kansas City police as the events unfold. We'll also have more here coming up in the news in just a couple of moments.
So we're saying parade. Do we know if it was along the parade route? Was it near where players were? Or was it just this is a shooting that happened in Kansas City and the parade also happens to be going on in Kansas City?
No, you can see, if you're watching any video, you can see that there are police officers gathered like around where fencing would be as if people were lined up. My understanding it's around like their Union Station area, and it's less than a block away from like where the parade was actually going through. So, if you've been to the Bucks parade, we just had a couple of years ago, everyone's kind of filing through really one area, and it looks like this was just one of those entry points.
All right. As Mike said, much more on this as we get it here into our newsroom throughout the course of the afternoon. The news is straight ahead at the bottom of the hour. Then those gas prices. What is up with the gas prices? When will relief arrive? Head petroleum analyst at Gas Buddy, Patrick DeHaan, will be with us.
Replacement windows indoors. Well, where do you start? How about Siding Unlimited? That's where. Why? Well, you know about Siding Unlimited's Contractor of the Year awards from Pella, right? But Siding Unlimited offers many other choices too. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, traditional, contemporary. Siding Unlimited will work with your style and your budget. And whatever choices you make, be assured that Wisconsin's climate extremes will stay out there to look at and not inside to bother you. So start with Siding Unlimited. Local, family-owned, honest and reliable, knowledgeable and skilled. And lots of options, too. You want windows? Think Siding. Siding Unlimited. Wisconsin's best. America's best. Visit sidingunlimited.com. Or check out their showroom in Brookfield, 665 Larry Court. Siding Unlimited.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks rebound nicely today, a day after they got routed. The S&P 500 was up 47 points. That's almost 1 full percentage point. It's back over 5,000. The Dow up 152 on the day. It's at 38,424. And the NASDAQ was up 204 points. That's 1.3%. It's at 15,859. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue.
more than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
St. Vincent de Paul, Milwaukee has expanded into our new 76th and Bradley Road location, where thrifters will find hundreds of bargains on everything, from clothing to furniture, electronics, home goods, and more. Our inventory is always changing, and new deals pop up every day. We're accepting donations too at our convenient drive-through donation area. Help us help others. St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee is now open.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
At 3:31, I'm Mike Spalding. Our top story: shots fired at a victory celebration in Kansas City.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Trouble on 4394 southbound on the ramp, at the ramp from Beecher Street. The left lane blocked with a crash. That's going to be tying things up out of the Marquette. We've also got a broken down vehicle on the ramp from southbound 43 to westbound 94 in the Marquette as well. So backups all the way back to North Avenue. Westbound 94 seeing delays from 16th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight. A rain-snow mix is expected, though that precipitation will start falling around midnight, a low 34. Tomorrow, the rain-snow mix will linger. Could expect about 1 to 3 inches north. Minor totals along I-94, while mostly rain will be falling south of Milwaukee County, a high about 38 degrees. Right now at 3:31, it is 46 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, developing story in Kansas City this afternoon. This after reports of shots fired during the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. ABC's Alex Perez is there.
The parade started about 2 miles from here, and the route worked its way to this location where it ended, right outside Union Station. And there had been people gathering here since very early this morning before the sun came up, sort of staking out their spots. And the event had just ended. The rally had just ended. So people were already sort of milling around and beginning to go about their way when those gunshots were heard.
The Kansas City Fire Department says at least 14 people were injured in this shooting. Again, 1 person is confirmed dead. 2 suspects are in custody. An arrest has been made after a 77-year-old man was found dead in his home in New Berlin Monday. Police say they have arrested a person of interest after the man's body was found inside that home on Monday night. The Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office saying they found a woman partially clothed running through backyards in Cedarburg. She was eventually found hiding in the garage of a home and taken to the hospital for evaluation. Right now, unclear what the connection is between the 42-year-old woman and that 77-year-old man. Angry rideshare drivers are protesting at airports around the nation today over wages amid the high cost of living. CBS News correspondent Allison Keys.
Not left for Uber and Lyft today, no driving.
This man at Newark Liberty International Airport drives for both Uber and Lyft and says he's fed up. Drivers are waving red and white signs, some reading, "Get good drivers back to work." In Jacksonville, Florida, this driver talks about a trip from the airport to the Hyatt Hotel downtown and says,
"You're going to get paid anywhere from $9 to $11. That used to be a $14 to $17 ride."
Drivers also say they want better safety measures as crime is on the rise. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Lyft, meanwhile, says drivers always make at least 70% of weekly ride fares after external fees. And moviegoers rejoice. The Rosebud Cinema in Wauwatosa reopens this evening after 4 years of being closed. The 83-year-old theater has been closed since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Rosebud says it'll begin screening the new Marvel superhero movie, Madame Web, tonight at 6:30. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 334.
In this seller's market, even homeowners are trying to sell their own home. But more times than not, it doesn't work out like they'd hoped. And while homes like theirs are selling, and selling fast for over asking prices, their homes aren't. So what's your next best strategy? Well, if you're looking to relieve yourself of the stress of selling your own home and still get top dollar while getting the full service benefits that an experienced realtor can give you, then look no further. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where 3.5 to 3.9% commission assures that you pay less for full service. Only 11% of those trying to sell their own homes actually succeed. And of those that do sell their own home, they sell on average for 26% less than agented properties. This often negates the savings they were hoping to get by doing it on their own. So why do it on your own when you have an experienced realtor that will give you full service at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission? Don't let your home sit while others are selling faster and at potentially better than asking prices. Call Benefit Realty for a highly experienced agent, and you'll pay less for full service.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. Now's the time to get on the schedule with your commercial paving project for 2024. Booking work in the winter helps you budget and puts the Johnson & Sons design team to work. 2 civil engineers on staff, superintendents and foremen with 2 decades experience. There is nothing they have not seen. They can think outside the box and deliver the parking lot or drive you need in the budget you can afford. Plenty of Johnsons over there, no subcontractors. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com. That's JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Best Electric and Cornerstone Development. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenex are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Gas prices are going up and probably not coming down anytime soon. I guess it's all relative. Patrick DeHaan is the head petroleum analyst at Gas Buddy. Patrick, good to catch up. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having me again.
Why are they going up? Why are we where we are?
Well, a lot of what we've been seeing here in the last week, well, first and foremost, the average in Milwaukee up 10 cents a gallon from last week. We're now up almost 25 cents from a month ago. A lot of this is really tied to the BP Whiting refinery down in Northwest Indiana that suffered a power loss 2 weeks ago. That uncontrolled power loss made waves for showing a lot of flaring that was going across that plant. And that plant has since been down. And every single day that goes by with that refinery down, we're missing out on about 10 million gallons of gasoline production. And that has had a negative impact and sent gas prices jumping to the values we see today. And they could continue going up as that plant is likely to be down for another week or so.
Are there other factors at play here? There's instability in the Middle East. You walk me through. What other things are we thinking about right now? Is it just that Indiana refinery?
Well, I would say that's a lot of it, but we are starting to get into the seasonality. We have seen a little bit of an increase in the price of oil, and only part of that small increase is due to what's happening in areas like the Red Sea and the Middle East. Oil prices are about $4 a barrel higher than where they were a couple of weeks ago, maybe $5 a barrel, but they're about $10 a barrel more than when we hit the bottom at the pump. So there has been a jump in oil. Only some of that's because of the Middle East, but we are getting into the time of year. Well, we got that really cold weather in mid-January. We saw a blizzard that came through, coupled with some really cold air when temperatures got down to below zero. That actually made it all the way down into Texas, shutting some refineries down there. And that was kind of the catalyst. Whenever you shut refineries down in an area like Texas and Louisiana due to extremely cold weather, that's where much of the nation's refining capacity is. And that's really what started us. And now we're starting to get into the spring. That's when we're going to start the changeover back to more expensive reformulated summer gasoline. Demand is going to start going up as well. So unfortunately, even if this refinery gets back online here in the next week or so, we are still looking at a seasonal rise in prices. And by the way, this seasonal rise happens just about every year for the same reason.
Well, Patrick, I wanted to ask you, is this going to be something that, we can all bug our eyes out at and go, oh my gosh, we're going to be at $4.85 a gallon again in Wisconsin like we were a couple years back? Or is this something you think will kind of be more on average with what we see year to year?
Yeah, probably. I mean, we're still not quite back to that average, just simply because Russia has continued its war in Ukraine. But we're also not experiencing the shock and awe of the first year that happened, coupled with the fact that back in 2022, when Russia did invade Ukraine, it was coupled with an economy that was just really rebounding. You'll remember that COVID, once the federal mask mandate came off, the economy was just soaring back in 2022. So those things together, a rebounding economy and Russia's war in Ukraine, is what caused that surge. Milwaukee did hit the average of $5.17 a gallon briefly. Last summer, though, a lot different of a story. We only saw prices peak at about $3.80 a gallon, and that actually occurred in the closing innings of summer. I'm hopeful that this year will be very much like last year, and hopefully we can avoid that $4 a gallon mark. That is, unless there's another refinery issue in the Midwest here in the middle of the summer.
Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan is with us. Patrick, can you explain why some places have to use a special blend of gas, why some don't, how that all works? We're affected by that here in the Milwaukee area, obviously.
Yeah, you really are. It's areas of southeastern Wisconsin have to use what's called reformulated gasoline. That's because of the Clean Air Act amendments that Congress passed in 1990. The first phase of this reformulated gasoline program started in 1995. So, this hasn't been around too long. I mean, 23 years, but a lot of people still say they think it's a myth. A lot of it happens because of what we call attainment areas where emissions are elevated in the summer months. Population areas like Milwaukee, Chicago, Northwest Indiana, where there's a lot of vehicles on the road, having cleaner gasoline is really imperative to avoid the higher level of emissions. And this reformulated gasoline burns cleaner, it's less volatile, so that it doesn't evaporate as easy and put those vapors into the atmosphere. So basically it's required where there's a lot of vehicles on the road to burn cleaner and lead to cleaner air.
Is that issue ever revisited?
It is evaluated. In fact, there are actually areas that are going to be forced to use reformulated gasoline this year for the first time ever. Denver is now an area that they've seen emissions going up. It's often revisited. Some areas can opt out depending on if their emissions have dropped. That's probably happened less in recent years simply because Americans are using more devices that need more power. There's more industry. So that is revisited, but the trend has been more areas are having to do this reformulated gasoline. Dallas as well is joining this program for this year.
All right, look into your crystal ball. What date will it be in 2024 where our gas is absolutely the highest? The actual date.
Well, if there's not a refinery outage, because I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, I'd probably be living somewhere on a Pacific island. But I'm going to take a guess that it's going to be before the summer. I'm going to say, let's say April 25 is going to be the peak, and then we go down. But again, like last year, we actually saw the peak at the tail end of summer. That's because refinery issues happened down at that BP refinery again, and they got squeezed. So let's hope we don't have to deal with that.
Okay, so if it's April 25th, we're going to send you a case of beer from Milwaukee. And if it's any of the other 364 days, you have to send us something.
Maybe a free gallon of gas. How's that?
I like how that sounds. Patrick DeHaan is the head petroleum analyst at Gas Buddy. Always good perspective. Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks for having me.
It is 3:43 at WTMJ. We continue to monitor the situation in Kansas City where there's been a shooting. One person is dead at the Super Bowl parade, the Kansas City parade. We'll have the latest on that coming up. As a matter of fact, a former detective here from our area who has a lot of experience, he's from Waukesha, and they had their own parade issue. He will join us up next on WTMJ.
WTMJ Now with Steve Scafidi.
We are so absurd with our politics now that there's an opportunity as we speak to at least try to mediate or fix our issues at the border.
Get the latest news. Hear the opinions.
We don't buy into the nonsense that Paul Ryan is a rhino, which is the most overused term, misused term in the history of political terms.
All in Wisconsin.
Little fear is a good thing. Fear punishment for bad behavior.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on WTMJ.
Couple of words for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I know the president of Azura. I know the people that work there. I've been in their buildings. They are the real deal. One of the things about us all living longer is that we're all dealing with folks in our lives that have memory issues, that have dementia or Alzheimer's. It's just the reality of the situation. When that strikes your family, you want to make sure you have a place that you can count on, that you can trust, that you can feel good about. That's Azura. Every time I'm in there, I see how they treat their patients. It's Azura all the way. My grandma was in a place, and I wish I'd known about Azura because she would have been in Azura. That's how strongly I feel about it. It's the right people doing the right thing all the time. Kindness at the core. It's Azura.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333. Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Looking forward to a new, easier lifestyle, like getting back your time and doing what's important to you? If you live in a brand new Cornerstone Development condominium, you start creating the lifestyle you deserve. Buy a brand new condominium or standalone home from Cornerstone Development in Grafton, Muskego, Waukesha, Pewaukee, Menominee Falls, or River Hills. Choose to relax, exercise at the community clubhouse and pool, or just enjoy your new freedom. All homes are built with your personal selection of finishes. Get started today at cornerstonedevelopment.com.
Check those roads with Debbie Loziga. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon, John. We have southbound 4394 right at Beecher Street. The left lane is blocked with a crash, so that's going to be affecting your ride. We're definitely seeing those delays coming into that area. It is going to be a bit heavy through the Marquette anyway. We do have a broken down vehicle on the ramp from southbound 43 to westbound 94. It is out of traffic, but it's enough to make for a bit of a delay. We've got backups all the way back to Locust. And we've also got westbound 94 hitting the brakes at 16th Street, stretching all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got a couple of pockets just east of 84th Street to 68th, and then again right through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Quick look at your forecast. It's going to be a rainy, snowy mix tonight. That lingers into tomorrow morning. Maybe 1 to 3 inches when it's all said and done. Friday, 31. Saturday, 32. Sunday, a high of 39 degrees. Want to take you to Kansas City. There's been a shooting at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. This is Stacy Graves. She is the Kansas City Police Chief.
Custody, and also immediately rendered life-sustaining aid to those victims. We're still gathering information on the number and the status of victims. But like I said, we know that one of the victims is deceased. We also know that officers ran towards danger. Officers were there to keep everyone safe. I'm angry at what happened today. The people who came to this celebration should expect a safe environment. We had over 800 law enforcement officers, Kansas City and other agencies, at the location to keep everyone safe. Because of bad actors, which were very few, this tragedy occurred.
That is Stacey Graves, Kansas City Police Chief, talking about the shooting there. You heard her confirm one person has been killed at the Super Bowl victory parade, as many as 9 or 10 others injured, and that is a very fluid number. Want to bring in our friend Steve Peterson. He is a retired detective out of Waukesha County, longtime member of the SWAT team and law enforcement expert. Steve, thank you so much for being with us.
Sure, you bet, John.
My first question as I look at the pictures come in and we kind of dissect this is, how do you keep 1 million people at a parade route safe in a major urban area? This is almost an impossible task. It's amazing. Thankfully, this doesn't happen more often. What are the challenges for law enforcement in this sort of situation?
It's just that. It's a tremendous challenge because when you have something in an event of an open air event, you know, there's no containment, so to speak. There are no security checkpoints. So law enforcement just has to do the best they can to coordinate what assets they have, pre-position them, and put them into various checkpoints and positions should something like this occur. And it looks like, at least from what I'm seeing on the front end, that law enforcement was on top of this and responding very, very quickly.
I mean, Steve, the chief just said they had 800 law enforcement officers there, so it doesn't seem to be a question of manpower. Is it almost like if someone wants to do something really bad, it's almost impossible to stop them?
It to a degree, you're right, it is. And in this case, these are, we don't know what the weapon system was that was utilized in this type of case, but weapons can be concealed, and if there aren't any checkpoints to run these weapons through magnetometers, it's an undaunting task. And I don't know what I'm not familiar with the weapons laws are in the state of Missouri, whether they have concealed carry, whether they have open carry, whether they were allowing that at this event, that type of thing.
So take us inside the mindset of law enforcement. 800 law enforcement officers, at least from several jurisdictions, are on scene. Shots ring out. The radios begin to crackle. There's been a shooting. And you're there as a law enforcement officer doing your job on a sunny afternoon, and chaos ensues. How do you compartmentalize and make sure you do what you need to do to apprehend suspects, keep people safe, do your job?
Right. And you've just said, again, going into this whole challenge, you're hearing the shots, so you start reacting and running towards the area where you believe the shots are coming. I'm sure that there are witnesses or people just fleeing the area that are pointing these officers in various directions because they don't know for sure where the shots were coming from. They just know it was in this general vicinity. So you've got a lot of officers that are running all over the place, but eventually getting to where they need to be.
Should parade routes, the entire route, including the staging areas and the deembarkation areas at the end of the route, be shared publicly?
Oh, I think so. I mean, look, if you can't go to a parade in your own community or celebrate your football team winning the Super Bowl and have to have it as a closed event, we're in serious trouble then.
We are in serious trouble. I mean, 10 people got shot at a parade. Look what happened in Waukesha. It's just, I don't know how we solve this. I mean, they put a lot of measures in place in Waukesha near where you are. Did we learn lessons from what happened there? That was a much different incident with a vehicle, but how does law enforcement glean information and learn from other incidents in different parts of the country?
Well, that's just it. This particular incident is going to be debriefed and dissected to find out was there anything that was flawed in the operational plan of law enforcement, which there's no indication to believe that. And then it was what could we have done different? What could we have improved on? But the problem is we don't know yet what the motivation was, what the catalyst was that led up to this shooting event. Is this one person that just decided to start gunning down innocent people, or were these a couple knuckleheads, and I use that term lightly, that had some grievances and they decided to shoot it out amongst themselves? We just don't know. So, but it certainly is going to be looked at, and anything that can be improved on will certainly be taken into consideration. But again, I go back to this is a very undaunting task to try to, police, if you will, this type of event, unless you're going to start putting up magnetometers and making everybody go through magnetometers. And that simply is not feasible. I don't believe anyway.
It makes me angry. Where we're broadcasting from, we are going to be inside the security bubble for the RNC. It's going to be very difficult for people to get in and out of here. They're talking about, I can't even say what I was about to say because they've given us some information what they're going to do inside the perimeter. But
absolutely.
It's going to be very tough to get in here. If you're at a parade, if the Bucks win the championship again and we're going to have another parade with hundreds of thousands of people, now we're going to be thinking about what do we do to avoid what happened in Kansas City? And there's no easy answer.
No, there isn't, and that's going to be for some folks and some leaders that is way above my pay grade, so to speak, or to kind of assess and look at these types of issues moving forward, especially with concealed weapons. I'm guessing that that's what this situation evolved from was some type of concealed weapon system. I don't know, so we're just going to have to wait to see. But unless we're going to start running people at parades and fireworks events and things like that, run them through magnetometers before they're allowed into an area, and then once they're allowed in that area has, as you know, that's a perimeter now, and now that has to be secured. And again, where are you going to get the assets to do that in such a large facility?
Former Waukesha County Sheriff's Detective Steve Peterson. Always appreciate the perspective. Thank you so much, Steve.
You bet, John. See you.
To recap for you, 10 to 15 people are believed to be injured in Kansas City. One has been shot and killed. A shooter has been apprehended. At the Chiefs Super Bowl victory parade, we're told that all the players and coaching staff are accounted for and are uninjured. Much more on this straight ahead at the top of the hour on WTMJ. It's 3:56. A couple of words here for Town Bank. Town Bank is Wisconsin's bank. It's part of the Wintrust family of community banks. One of the things I love about Town Bank is their unique banking solutions. They've got total access checking, which is what I have. It means free ATMs nationwide. So when I visit Kiera in Texas or Amy in New York, I have total access checking with free ATMs, and that's really convenient. They've got Junior Savers Club accounts for the kids. Your kids, when they're really little, learn about money, learn how to save, learn about the importance of banking some of that away. They've got the best CD rates, and on top of it all, for me, they have the best customer service in the branches and online. I do most of my banking online. I know a lot of you do, too, and through the app. There's going to come a time where you're going to need a question answered. You're going to need some help. And even online, Town Bank has the most robust customer service. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more with Town Bank. Bank differently with Town Bank. Town Bank is Wisconsin's bank. It's my bank. Member FDIC.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Rosebud Cinema on North Avenue in Wauwatosa shows its first movies on February 14th after an almost 4-year closure. The nearly 100-year-old single-screen movie theater opened in 1931 and is currently operated by the Neighborhood Theater Group. Plans for a 17-unit affordable apartment building in Whitefish Bay move ahead after its developer secures a key village approval. The village's Board of Appeals overturned a December denial by the village's Architectural Review Board related to the building's design. The Sheridan, Wisconsin book printing plant in Madison eliminates 116 jobs starting April 13th and continuing in phases until the plant closes on June 28th. With roots that go back 150 years, the company cited a significant downturn in business as the reason for the layoffs. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
It's time to say aloha to paradise. Picture powder soft sand, endless turquoise waters, and a frosty cocktail by a beach lounger. Fox World Travel is proud to partner with Apple Vacations to offer exclusive deals that will take you to your dream getaway. With great deals to Hawaii, Fiji, St. Lucia, or the best all-inclusive resorts in Mexico and the Caribbean, our travel experts take the hassle out of traveling to paradise. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO to speak with our vacation travel experts today.
A new year means new goals for Wisconsin hoops teams. The red and white will make a run to the tournament, and Milwaukee is eyeing up a playoff run in the spring. As Wisconsin's 3PL Evans Transportation knows, it takes a team effort to make those runs, and when it comes to manufacturers' accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, Evans is the supply chain team for you. Good luck to all Wisconsin hoops teams from Wisconsin's 3PL. Find them at evanstrans.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Not only did we receive a fair offer, but we were able to take as much time as we needed and could leave the house a mess.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: gunshots ring out during a celebration in Kansas City.
I'm Mike Spalding. Potholes pose a problem already.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and our two problems that we had in the Marquette and at Beecher have been cleared. It was a broken down vehicle on the ramp to 94 westbound. That's gone, but the delays are still there, back almost to Capitol Drive. And the other accident that was on southbound 4394 at Beecher Street's been cleared up, but we do still have backups out of the Marquette. Westbound 94 slowing from the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, with the eastbound side of 94 from 76th Street through the Stadium Interchange backing up as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, a rain-snow mix after midnight, a low of 34 degrees. More of that slushy stuff in the morning tomorrow. Going to screw up the morning rush hour, a high of 38 tomorrow. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
I'm angry at what happened today.
Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves speaking just moments ago after at least 14 people were shot, one killed this afternoon during the Super Bowl parade for the Chiefs. We get the latest now from ABC News.
This is a special report from ABC News. Shooting at the Kansas City Super Bowl parade. I'm Derek Dennis. At least one dead in a shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory rally in downtown Kansas City, Missouri. 10 to 15 injured, according to police. And it happened as thousands were wrapping up celebrations for the Chiefs Super Bowl win. Various helicopter videos show people being put on stretchers into ambulances and Chiefs fans fleeing from the gunfire. ABC's Pierre Thomas with the latest from his law enforcement sources.
There is no information so far coming from the scene suggesting terrorism or some kind of political act, that it may again, may, early in the investigation, appear to be something criminal. Typically, in a situation like this, you'll have law enforcement at the federal level get a quick sense if there's anything suggesting terrorism or some kind of political event. Obviously, the source said they're just very concerned that guns are so ubiquitous.
A news conference with authorities is underway now.
That's ABC's Derek Dennis. We'll have the latest from Kansas City all day long here on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
A springtime issue for the city of Milwaukee is popping up earlier than usual this year, that being roads pocked with potholes. TMJ4's Mary Jo Ola has more.
They highlighted that if you're seeing those potholes earlier, you're not alone, and they're citing the weather. So today, Alderman Lamont Westmoreland and the Public Works Committee have now directed the Department of Public Works to lay out their plan to better address the issue. Now, DPW says right now they're balancing the early demand to respond with lower staffing levels than previous years, while they are still hiring to fill those vacancies. Now, DPW believes that their new software system that they use behind the scenes is going to help make their work more efficient, although that just came online right before the new year, so they're still working to take advantage of that resource.
And DPW also says they've ordered more tools to help them deal with the potholes on a more timely basis, though, ironically, that equipment won't arrive until later this spring.
Brewers will be joined by some special guests as they head to spring training out west.
3 young patients at Advocate Aurora are heading to Arizona. The children were surprised and gifted a trip to Brewers spring training today during a visit to American Family Field. One of the kids, Evan Rennick, tells WTMJ he was
flabbergasted. I had no idea what was happening. Is this real life that's happening right now?
Evan's mom, Chelsea Rennick, says they're excited to start writing calendar dates in pen instead of pencil since Evan has beaten cancer.
Everything has been consumed with cancer, radiation, and chemo, so now we get to enjoy each other again.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 4:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Replacement windows and doors. Where do you start? Siding Unlimited is the best installation contractor in Wisconsin and even in the whole USA. So start there. Siding Unlimited is local, family-owned, honest and reliable, knowledgeable and skilled. Siding Unlimited is trustworthy. Siding Unlimited's office wall is too small to hold all the awards they've earned from window and door manufacturers. And they install lots of different products, too. Siding Unlimited's quality American craftsmen have also won customer praise thanks to their skill, attention to detail, and just plain friendliness. See for yourself. You want windows, but think siding. Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best, America's best. SidingUnlimited.com.
The next time they ask you what size tires you need, just go to richlawns.com.
That's Richlawns spelled with 2 N's.
No more trying to read that tiny writing on the side of your old tires or on the inside of your car door.
Just go to richlawns.com, click on the year button, then the make and model of your vehicle, and
the exact tire size you need.
In a multitude of brands and styles.
Yet all specific to your vehicle, because at Richlawns, there isn't a tire on the planet we can't get.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair, which means you're 100% covered, no questions asked.
The next time you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com.
Because free flat tire repair automatically comes with every tire we install.
I'm Brett Matchke with Richlawns. You're due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlawns Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlawns.
According to the U.S. debt clock, our debt is over $32 trillion and climbing. The question is, how do we pay it off? One of the most likely answers is increasing taxes. Now think about your retirement accounts. Do you want to pay taxes on some of that money now when rates are historically low, or later when rates are potentially higher? At Drake & Associates, we can help you create a plan so your retirement is tax efficient as possible. If you'd like to continue your education, we have our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides on retirement tax savings. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text TAX to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting TAX to 414-409-9982. When taxes go up, will you be ready? Call or text now.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Griffin Service Department has a sweet deal for your Valentine's special. $179.95 for an oil change, tire rotation, air filter, wiper blades, complete multi-point inspection, and battery check. Available at all 5 Griffin Service Departments.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests. Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Mike Spalding also in the studio. Sam's producing the show this afternoon, and we're joined by our friend Tori Lowe, the host of the Tori Lowe Show, 1 to 4 on 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. I'm glad you're here for a little perspective. So this actually broke on your show, Kansas City Super Bowl victory parade. We now know, Tori, that one person has been shot and killed. 15 or so others have been hurt in a shooting. The perpetrator has been taken into custody. As you watch these clips come in, and it was on your show in real time, we had a parade like this just a few years ago.
I started having flashbacks from what took place right here at the Deer District. And then also during the Juneteenth parade this year, where one of my producers was actually close enough to get video footage of the actual shooting. So to me, it was just, I was like, oh, not again. Here we go again. Pretty soon I'm going to be worried, can they keep people safe in these large gatherings when it comes to sporting events, when it comes to when we want to do huge concerts or, jazz in the park, Is this going to be the trend now?
Well, eventually, I think, too, Tori, what's unfortunate is it becomes a what if something happens to a, well, when something eventually does happen. And that's just, it's heartbreaking to have to think that way.
You know what? We're living in different times now, where you have so many fires burning, and we still want to get out and have fun. We still want to get out and enjoy ourselves, and we still want to hold on to some of those old traditions. And that's gathering in public for great things or things that we consider where in the past were safe to go to. But now you have, a society where they may bring a gun to this event or to this gathering, and they may have alcohol or they may have been provoked by somebody else. That's why I say, as people, we have to keep our head on a swivel when we go to these large gatherings and always pay attention, because you never know where it's going to erupt. I was at the Juneteenth, and it was closed down. Everything was closing up, and a huge wave of people started running toward where I was. And I said, oh, wow, something is going on. And you just got to be cautious. You just got to make sure that you're understanding that you're out in public and anything can happen. So make sure that you are watching and your awareness is up as well, and watching your family if you have family members with you, especially if you have children.
So at Deer District, that happened just outside the Deer District, and the next game, they were able to put extra barricades up, make people go through the magnometers, do all that sort of thing, and that was, 20,000 people that had to do that, plus what they had in the Deer District. I don't know what you do at a parade route when there's 500,000 people literally spanning several miles. If I'm franchises now and this happens again, I'm seriously thinking about canceling the parade.
But that takes away from the,
I know
the
it does,
experience.
but it keeps people alive. I'm not advocating for that.
I'm agreeing with you. Like,
I'm
I'm
not
just saying.
advocating for that.
I had to take a deep breath, because that would be terrible that my son, my daughter, can't experience a championship moment the way we have.
But
now
they'd still be, your son or daughter would still be alive, though.
I agree. I'm not even giving any pushback. I think that if that's the way it has to go, that's the way it has to go, because safety is always first. But I'm saying that now that we're living in times that we even have to have this conversation, it's horrible.
Right. That's a good point. Why are we having this conversation? Imagine in Kansas City how heartbroken they are. This was their day to celebrate a championship.
Right.
And everybody was in a great mood. Most people were off from work. And now this is how the day ends, and this is the headline that all of America sees. They don't see Patrick Mahomes on top of a double-decker bus. They see people performing CPR on somebody laying in the street. That's the headline from today in Kansas City.
And then what's the motivation behind it? Was it just a regular person that was drunk or had an argument and just got to, shooting, or was it a strategic attack? This is the information that I want to understand, because that makes it, if it was something that was terroristic, then it's different from just regular lay people getting into a fight and just kind of just going crazy with a weapon and being overexcited or drunk. So I'm hoping to get that kind of information. I think they got people in custody.
Yeah, they have two in
custody. Two in custody.
Yep.
So I think this evening we'll probably have some type of press conference to say what was the actual reasoning behind it. But this is scary because this is a family event. And like you said, do we shut this down? Do we be more preventative? And you know how people get when they say what if? Because now you're anticipating something that may or may not happen. So somebody may come and say, hey, look, we may have to have all this virtual. We may have to go virtual with this.
Yeah, or somebody just said on the text line, we have the parade at State Fair Park. It's all controlled. It's not the same, but you got to learn to control it somehow. I don't know what the answer is. Tori Lowe, great perspective on his show from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, 101.7 The Truth. Appreciate you being here, Tori. Thanks.
Hey, look, I appreciate for you allowing me to be on this show, and this is just a terrible thing to witness happening live, but prayers to the families and everybody affected.
It's 4:14 at WTMJ.
Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off their shoulders. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik talking about my friends at Gruber Law Offices, where providing the best care, service, and representation remain their top priorities, and it has been for over 35 years, serving the people in Wisconsin and giving back to the community. Put them to work for you. Gruber Law Offices, family-owned and operated, but a powerful team with real resources to take on the insurance companies, providing real results that speak for themselves. Check them out online and learn more at gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com. A family-owned company that works for you and gives back to the community. They've been doing it for nearly 4 decades in Wisconsin. Locally known and nationally recognized, it's Gruber Law Offices. 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Loziga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. Yeah, we got backups westbound 94 coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way almost to Hawley Road. The eastbound side slowing down from 76th Street through the stadium as well. Heavy ride along southbound 43 from Locust, pretty much solid all the way down through the Marquette and over the high rise. And then on southbound 894 starts to slow down just south of Beloit Road, down and around the Hale interchange, and it starts to let up right about at 51st Street. The westbound side slowing out of the Mitchell to Loomis, where we have that construction zone. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Look at your forecast. It's going to be a slushy mess beginning tonight after midnight. Low of 34. Tomorrow that continues 1 to 3 inches during the rush hour primarily. A high of 38. Friday flurries 31. Saturday breezy, chilly 32. Sunday sunny and mild, a high of 39 degrees. It's currently clear skies and 45 degrees. Big news yesterday, and it's still undetermined exactly what is going to happen, is that the Republicans in both chambers have passed Tony Evers' maps, the maps that he recommended, and they've sent them back to him to be signed. Now, the real reason they're doing this is because they're deathly afraid that the Supreme Court's going to come back with maps they like even less. I wanted to get some perspective, and I have a couple questions about how this will play out and what it means for all of us that live in Wisconsin. One of the brightest political minds I know is Jeff Mayers. He's the president of WisPolitics. He is with us on the hotline. Jeff, good afternoon. Thanks for being with us.
Of course, John. How are you?
I'm good. So I guess the first thing I want to do is ask you if I made the right assumption. Did Republicans pass this because they thought it was the lesser of two evils?
Yes. They're afraid of what the newly liberal Supreme Court is going to do. And so they said, well, Evers' maps don't look so bad. So Evers said over the weekend in an interview that if they sent him the maps, he doubted whether they would, but if they sent them to him, he'd sign them. And so they sent them to him.
He did say that he would sign them if they got returned to him with no changes. There is a change. We can talk about, and I want to, how big that change is. But they did put one change in, and that was on the timeline of when the maps would be implemented. That was not in what he sent to them. Does that give him cover to veto the maps?
Perhaps, but, this morning we reported that his spokeswoman said that his position had not changed. So that indicated that, that wasn't a big deal. Now, he's getting pressure from other Democrats. Legislative Democrats largely did not vote for this. And there are other Democrats, including the Madison area Congressman Mark Pocan, who are arguing, don't do this. It's and Chris Larson is too, a state senator from Milwaukee. Don't do this. It's a Robin Voss trap. And then there are other Democrats saying, some of the lawyers involved saying, maybe this will take it out of any chance that this would go to the U.S. Supreme Court. It takes it out of the federal courts because that was going to be a Republican tactic. So he is getting pressure on this, and maybe, but no red flags yet from the governor's office.
So I talked to a legislative staffer late this morning, and I said what you just said to that staffer. I said, WisPolitics and others are reporting that his spokesperson says his position has not changed. And they said exactly, which is they needed to return them to him with no changes, and there was a change. And I hate to keep beating this point, but I'm
not. I mean, you're right. You're right. Could that be an out? It could be. I mean, this is it's a very big decision, right? And so, and like I said, he's getting a lot of pressure from other Democrats on this, and legislative Democrats did not largely go along. But I think there are some good reasons to do it. And like I said, I think one reason is then the danger of it going into the federal courts and thereby getting to the U.S. Supreme Court, which is controlled by conservatives. It's more of a sure thing for Democrats. Yes, it's not the most democratic map that was submitted to the Supreme Court, and it seems like the state Supreme Court is leaning to do more. But sometimes you got to take, 3/4 of a loaf.
You mentioned Mark Pocan. Mark Pocan is one of those that has said, don't do this because no matter what happens, he believes the Republicans will file a lawsuit and take this to federal court, even if he signs off on the maps they just signed off on. Could that happen?
Well, sure it could. I mean, I mean, this is high stakes politics, right? And so even if, I mean, there's a danger that a deal doesn't quite become a deal, right? I think, though, that if, the major parties agree on it, the Republican legislature and the Democratic governor agree on it, then that is a bipartisan agreement. And that's what the state Supreme Court said, if there is a bipartisan agreement, but then they don't need to do the maps. But could there be other lawsuits? Well, yes, certainly. I mean, we're a litigious society.
Jeff Mayers from WisPolitics is with us. So, Jeff, if the governor's maps, he does sign them and they become law, how damaging will it be for Republicans and the majorities that they hold?
Well, it's not the most pro-democratic map that was submitted. In fact, I think most analysts think that Republicans could very well hold on to their majority status, but much reduced numbers, so they wouldn't have large majorities. The numbers would be closer, and there'd be more swing seats, and there'd be more bargaining. And it would be less of a totally Republican-dominated legislature. And I think that Evers has acknowledged that throughout this process. He thinks that his maps would present return some normalcy to the Capitol and to the way the districts are drawn, and so that there's closer majorities. Now, in a big Democratic year under under Evers' maps, I think a lot of analysts think that indeed one of the houses could flip, and most likely that would be the state Senate. But I don't think we're looking at it seems like Wisconsin's going to be pretty even Steven, fitting our purple status this year.
I want to ask you, Jeff, before I let you go, about Mike Gallagher. He surprised a lot of people when he announced that he would not run for re-election. Do you see a future in Wisconsin politics for Mike Gallagher? Governor's race, U.S. Senate race, some role for him in Wisconsin politics?
Oh, yeah, and I have not talked to Congressman Gallagher. I mean, I've certainly talked to him a lot of times before. I haven't talked to him since this decision. I really think that he is his political future is still bright. In fact, because he's stepping out on his own terms, and maybe he'll go into the private sector. I don't sense that he's leaving politics. I think that it wasn't right for him this year to make a U.S. Senate run against Tammy Baldwin, and the Republicans are still waiting for an official candidate to run against Tammy Baldwin. But I think his future is bright. I mean, his work on the China committee has gotten a lot of praise. I think that he has still has a bright political future, and I think that it's very possible he could come back into politics. So it's one of those wait and see things. He's young, so he has a lot of time to get back into it.
What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Having a nice dinner at home.
Oh, that sounds like a perfect night.
How about you? Did you get
my wife's out of town, so I'm having a bowl of cereal and watching Netflix.
Well, I'd invite you over, but I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Yeah, not tonight. Jeff Mayers is the president of WisPolitics. We always appreciate you being with us. Thanks, Jeff.
Anytime, John.
It is 4:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks rebound today. Pretty nice day. The S&P 500 was up 47 points, closed over 5,000 again. The Dow up 152 to close at 38,424. The NASDAQ recouped almost everything that it lost yesterday, up 204 points to close at 15,859. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac with some good news. The auto show sale is on. Perfect timing to connect with Holiday to explore all that's new in automotive, get in on enticing offers, get more for your trade, and navigate today's car market confidently. Shop an impressive selection of new models from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, or check out the incredible value and peace of mind benefits included in a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle. Whatever your interest, Team Holiday's welcoming, relaxed attitude and passion for helping and delighting including guests, makes fans of drivers from all over. And I'm one of those loyal fans, and I know from my own experience that you'll be in great hands with Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer and the Badger State's top-ranked GM certified pre-owned dealer on your side. Accolades are per 2023 Buick and GMC Zone sales records. Find yours and discover the difference during the Auto Show sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Get ready. This week, Staples has deals so good, you're going to want to sit down. Are you sitting? I'll wait. Great. Right now, during Staples Sit-a-thon, you can save up to $180 on select chairs. That's up to $180 off desk chairs, up to $180 off computer chairs, and up to $180 off gaming chairs. So hurry into Staples now for the Staples Sit-a-thon and grab a seat or two. Ends 3/2. In-store only. See associate for details.
Progressive asks, what do a slow Friday night, bored teenage boys,
I'm bored,
a pack of fireworks,
this is gonna be awesome,
and a teetering branch suspended over your car have in common?
Look out!
They can quickly wreak havoc on your slow Friday night.
Uh-oh.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Sharks. Most people see them as a threat, but we see a potential cure. At UW Health Carbone Cancer Center, we're the only team in the world researching whether antibodies from sharks can be used to fight cancer. A discovery that would revolutionize the future of cancer care, turning possibilities into remarkable realities. So one day, instead of what if, we can ask what's next. UW Health Carbone Cancer Center. Remarkable.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. With the Brewers Group Outing, you can trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field, featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and much more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event simple, as they'll be your personal concierge while booking your outing. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
At 4:30, I'm Mike Spalding. Tragedy strikes during a celebration in Kansas City.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Southbound on 43, backing up from just south of Capitol Drive, pretty much all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94 is backing up as well, out of the Marquette all the way to about Hawley Road. Eastbound slow from 84th Street all the way through the stadium as well. Northbound on 43, by the way, we are seeing some backups right around the North Avenue curve up towards Locust. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly cloudy skies overnight. Tonight, a rain-snow mix is expected to begin around midnight, a low 34 degrees. Tomorrow, that mix will stick around in the early morning hours. Could it get about 3 inches of accumulation north of Milwaukee? Minor totals along I-94, while south of Milwaukee County will be getting mostly rain, a high of 38 degrees. Right now at 4:31, it is 45 degrees in downtown Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, at least one person has died. Dozens of others were injured. This after a shooting at the Super Bowl parade for the Kansas City Chiefs. We now got the latest from ABC News.
This is a special report from ABC News. Shooting at the Kansas City Super Bowl parade. I'm Derek Dennis. At least one dead in a shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory rally in downtown Kansas City, Missouri. 10 to 15 injured, according to police. And it happened as thousands were wrapping up celebrations for the Chiefs Super Bowl win. Various helicopter videos show people being put on stretchers into ambulances and Chiefs fans fleeing from the gunfire. ABC's Pierre Thomas with the latest from his law enforcement sources.
There is no information so far coming from the scene suggesting terrorism or some kind of political act, that it may, early in the investigation, appear to be something criminal. Typically, in a situation like this, you'll have law enforcement at the federal level get a quick sixth sense if there's anything suggesting terrorism or some kind of political event. Obviously, the source said they're just very concerned that guns are so ubiquitous.
A news conference with authorities is underway now. This is ABC News.
And meanwhile, a 42-year-old woman's in police custody in connection with the death of a 77-year-old man in New Berlin. The Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office says the woman was found partially clothed in Cedarburg Monday evening, just hours after the man was found in his home. The woman was found hiding in the garage of a home and was taken to the hospital for evaluation. Right now, unclear the connection between the man and the woman. Cause of death for him has yet to be determined. The leaders of the House Intelligence Committee now alerting colleagues about what they consider a, quote, urgent matter. And the Republican chairman of that panel now calling on President Biden to declassify it.
Sources say the urgent matter warned about by the bipartisan leadership of the House Intelligence Committee involves a Russian effort to put a nuclear weapon into outer space. One source calls it very concerning and very sensitive. House Speaker Mike Johnson tells reporters he wrote the president about this matter last month.
I want to assure the American people there is no need for public alarm.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is due on Capitol Hill to brief House leaders tomorrow. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
And it's unlikely that he'll be removed from office, but Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas becoming the first presidential cabinet member to be impeached by the U.S. House of Representatives in more than 100 years. The vote Tuesday, 214 in favor, 213 against. One of those yes votes was Congressman Scott Fitzgerald. He tells WTMJ.
I still think it was essential, and I think at the end of the day, it does raise the profile of what's going on at the border.
The matter now heads to the U.S. Senate, which does have the sole power under the Constitution to hold a trial that could lead to conviction and eventual removal from office. And a high-profile meeting tonight in Heartland as community members will have their first opportunity to voice concerns to the Arrowhead High School boards. And students were accused of spreading a message on Snapchat that included a racial slur as the caption. That meeting set for 6:30 this evening, just before that regularly scheduled school board meeting. I'm Mike Spalding, citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 434.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
AccuRite Tax and Financial Services has Toshiba copiers and network printers from James Imaging Systems. President CEO Jason Rose.
We have 17 different tax preparers on staff, and we have 4 printers running pretty much nonstop. And during tax season, it's absolutely crazy.
And Jason, those printers from James Imaging Systems have to work just as hard and reliably as your people do.
Oh yeah, yes. Something comes up that's an issue, we have somebody that we can call that can help us resolve the issue very quickly and efficiently.
Reliable printing, reliable service. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. That helps tremendously keep us being productive, keeps those tax returns going.
Jason, bottom line for your practice?
Happy clients, happy workers, happy me.
Don't worry, be happy with document imaging technology and extraordinary local support from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Heiser Automotive will help find your perfect vehicle match or give your current vehicle the attention it needs. After all, love is in the details. You'll get spoiled with our sales and service offers and receive our Safe and Sound program with each sale. This includes the exchange program. Don't love it? Exchange it. Convenient service with our new mobile service van. This means we'll come to you. Get lifetime roadside assistance and more. Your vehicle date awaits. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Has the relationship with your current furnace gone cold? We've seen it time and time again. At first, you were inseparable. Your furnace was always there for you. When everything outside became frigid and frightful, that humble heater protected you from the elements and prepared a perfectly pleasant environment. But now, years later, you notice a change. The climate has cooled and the once consistent comfort is suddenly sporadic. It just hasn't been the same. The flame has gone out, and your furnace simply isn't carrying its weight in the relationship. Hey, it's not your fault. You've done everything you can. It's time to move on to a brand new, high-efficiency furnace from Mr. Holland's Home Services. You deserve a furnace that's hopelessly devoted to your comfort, and you deserve 24 months interest-free financing with approved credit. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you're ready to heat things up, we can help.
Wealth-changing question.
Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Travel Wisconsin on Wisconsin's Afternoon News is sponsored by TravelWisconsin.com. She is the travel secretary. She's our friend, Ann Sayers. Ann, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, it sounds like a bad connection. Are you still there, Ann?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, we can. You sound great now. Are you wearing red?
Good. Yes.
That's nice. What are you going to do for Valentine's Day?
Probably just enjoy a glass of wine and couch time tonight.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
This weekend, we're going out to a local restaurant.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, because Valentine's Day falling on a Wednesday. Will the hubby enjoy a glass of wine with you?
He will. It is busy on a Wednesday, but we like to go out for Valentine's when we can. So in the vicinity of the day, we're going this weekend, and I'm excited about that part.
Yeah, oh, that'll be nice.
Well, and speaking of getting away, we're going to be talking a bit about cabin getaways today. Let us know where we can get away from a little bit of the hustle and bustle.
Day melt away during your cabin getaway?
I like that.
I think so.
Yes. Let's start in Door County, Ann.
Yeah, so there's a rustic but refined stay at the Chanticleer in Door County. It's located just north of Sturgeon Bay. It's 4 cabins that promise a luxury log cabin experience. Each cabin was constructed with modern conveniences and comfort in mind. You're going to find amenities like king-size beds, gas fireplaces, double whirlpool tubs, and waterfall showers. I love those. Guests enjoy a 50-acre property to explore, homemade breakfast delivered to your door daily. Each of the cabins then has kind of its own unique characteristics going on. The Evergreen cabin, for example, they have 25-foot vaulted ceilings in the great room. The Tamarack is a 1-bedroom cabin with views of the on-site pond, so that's perfect for a romantic getaway. And while you're in Door County, enjoy a fantastic meal in a historic setting at the Inn at Cedar Crossing. They have appetizers to entrees. Everything's made from scratch with creative ingredients, and it's all complemented by their beautiful 140-year-old brick building that they're located in.
And I feel like the Door County area always gets all the headlines. They're the first place people think of when you're talking about a weekend getaway, but there are places all over the state, including on Rice Lake in Barron County.
But Barron County is too. This winter, they have the family cabin aesthetic with the amenities of a hotel. Check out Courier's Lakeview Lodge. It's a gorgeous property that sits on the shores of Rice Lake. The lodge offers 19 different guest rooms decorated in the Northwoods theme to craft a feeling of being in your family's cabin. They have patchwork quilts to wood paneling. And for those looking for a more private option, Courier's Lakeview Lodge also has 2 chalets for rent that fit larger travel parties. And in the morning, visit the coffee room for fair trade coffee and made-from-scratch pastries supplied by a local bakery. I love that they call it the coffee room. And then you can add thrill to your trip to Barron County by going ATV riding on the Wild River State Trail. It's a 104-mile route. It's open to ATVs year-round, and you'll cross through 3 counties. You'll be surrounded by rich natural landscapes and wildlife the whole time. Sounds awesome.
That'd be a pretty sore backside if you were 104 miles on an ATV.
I don't think I could do the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a multi-day journey, I think.
Yeah.
Richland County. What's going on in Richland County?
So cool. So you can escape to the driftless region for a secluded cabin getaway at Anaway Place. It's a premier lodging destination that's been welcoming guests into rural Richland Center for more than 25 years. Here you can discover the benefits of unplugging on their gorgeous, underlying gorgeous 80-acre property. Anaway Place is a collection of 7 distinct cabins with one-of-a-kind features. So the Meadow House is an unforgettable experience. It's floor-to-ceiling windows. They draw in views from 360 degrees. In the Woodland House, you're going to find a special hideaway where there's a spiral staircase that gets you to the top of a tower surrounded by trees. Anaway Place is a very popular destination to visit year-round. It's accepting bookings actually right now all the way to 2025. Yeah, so book now. And for an option to take a little excursion, visit Kelly's Coffee House at either the Richland Center or their Spring Green locations. You'll find warm beverages, pastries, and satisfying lunch options.
Ooh, that sounds good. I'm more of a cabin guy than a tent guy for sure. Where do you fall?
I can handle a little bit of both, but I do find myself feeling like very excited when I hear things like waterfall shower.
Yeah.
And they don't have those in tents.
That would not work out too well, would it? Ann Sayers is the travel secretary. For more information and all the great stuff Ann talked about, check out travelwisconsin.com. Have a great rest of your Valentine's Day, Ann.
Same to you. Take care.
Talk to you next week. It is 4:43 at WTMJ.
For the last 16 years, we've been hosting private tours throughout the city's most delicious eateries, iconic breweries, and cultural neighborhoods. I'm Teresa from Milwaukee Food and City Tours. Let us plan your next team outing on our Brady Street lunch tour. Kick off your besties bachelorette weekend with a Bloody Mary brunch or on our super fun tacos and tequila tour. And celebrate your next birthday on our famous pizza bus tour. Schedule your next outing with a private bus or walking tour at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com.
Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference when it comes to your investment and retirement planning. A simple checklist might help. Is your financial advisor a fiduciary? How are they at tax planning? What about estate planning? Can they help make sure your legacy plan follows your wishes, or are they just trying to sell you something? There's a real difference between financial advisors. That's why Annex Wealth Management urges you to know the difference. Annex is local, independent, and part of the community, and that matters to me. Their investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning teams are based right here in Southeast Wisconsin. Find out more about Annex every Saturday morning at 10, right here on WTMJ. There's a reason Money Talk, the Annex Wealth Management Show, is Wisconsin's longest-running financial radio show. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. Michelle and I did that years ago. Schedule your own appointment. That's Annex Wealth Management. Locations throughout Southeast Wisconsin. Northern Illinois are always as close as your computer. Know the difference. Annex Wealth Management.
With the help of Less's Glass, you can have the shower you've always wanted. Heavy glass shower enclosures from Less's Glass are installed by the best in the business. And when you have a showroom to visit with over a dozen glass shower enclosures on display, there's no guessing games. See the ultimate in frameless shower design with doors mounted on smooth as silk, stainless steel barn-style rollers. This design combines the beauty and elegance of heavy glass with a minimalist look to create an ideal shower enclosure for tight spaces. Premium shower doors and custom-designed all-glass enclosures. When you work with Less's Glass, you're working with a company that really can do it all. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lozica. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon, John. Well, it looks like we've got an issue in Waukesha County Highway, Capitol Drive eastbound at Imperial Drive. Has the two right lanes blocked with a crash. Now, this is between Brookfield Road and Calhoun Road, to give you an idea where that is. We got also some delays along eastbound 94 coming out of the Barker Road area out towards Calhoun, and then back on the brakes from about 92nd Street through the Stadium interchange. Westbound 94 is going to be heavy out of the Marquette out towards the Hawley Road area. Southbound on the bypass also backing up now, basically from Lincoln all the way down and around the Hale interchange past Forest Home. And don't forget, you can be our eyes on the roads. You can report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, that sleety, rainy, snowy mix starts after midnight. It continues into the morning, about 1 to 3 inches for most of us tomorrow, a high of 38. On Friday, cloudy with flurries, a high of 31. Saturday, breezy, chilly, 32. Sunday, sunny, mild, a high of 39 degrees. Right now, it's mostly sunny and 44 degrees. Dale Cuenca is the president of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, and he is with us in the studio. Dale, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here.
It's good to be here.
I want to talk to you about a couple different things. Let's start with the MPS referendum. People in town are really talking about the referendum. Kind of walk us through what this would do and what we're looking at.
Well, they should be talking about it because most people in Milwaukee don't know what's going on. It's going to have a huge impact on them. And even if you're not a homeowner, if you're a renter, news for you, this passes through to your rent. Those landlords are not going to say, oh, we'll swallow this whole thing. So it has a big impact. The increase you're looking at right now, your levy for the Milwaukee Public Schools is $7.94 per $1,000 of your value. That would go up to over $18. So it is a huge increase. The referendums is for over $250 million. And so you're looking at a house, if your house is assessed at $200,000, you're looking about $440 in additional taxes yearly for that. So the question is, what are you going to get for that? Are you going to get better schools for that? The last referendum that passed, there was not an increase in the Milwaukee Public Schools test scores. And so those are the questions we have right now. We haven't taken a position on it yet, but for a $250 million additional investment, are we going to see additional test scores increase? There's been a substantial decrease in the number of students per school building, not the ratio of students-teacher ratio. We're talking about the school buildings. It seems like they're spreading kids out over buildings. So a lot of questions, and we're very concerned about where this leaves Milwaukee and property taxes because it would put us towards the very top of the nation, especially in the Midwest, as far as our property taxes. And so it's people got to get smart on it. It's a big deal.
You raised some very interesting questions. We have buildings that are underutilized. Why don't they sell some of that real estate? Some people are asking. Should there be specific things tied to the money? I mean, are we going to see improvements in the classroom, and how do we mandate whether that happens? The mayor and county executive have both come out in support of the referendum. Will MMAC make a recommendation one way or the other, or will you maybe just kind of sit back?
Yeah, so last time MMAC didn't take a position in the last referendum, that was for a fraction of this amount. We will have a position that we take, and that position will either be for informational purposes only, which is where we're at. As if I sit here, I'm providing information. Some of the information is, a lot of questions out there.
Yeah.
We probably won't be for it based on the feedback we got so far from our members, and there's a possibility we may be against it. So we're going to listen to Dr. Polsley, who's the superintendent at Milwaukee Public Schools. We're going to ask these questions. We're doing a lot of study on the issue, and we're going to do what's best for business, but also businesses depend on workers. And if we can't have affordable housing in Milwaukee, we're not going to have the workers we have in Milwaukee. And so we're really trying to reconcile this. The mayor, I love the mayor's big, hairy, audacious goal, which is we want 1 million people in the city. We're at 600,000 right now. We keep decreasing. I don't think this points us in the right direction to reach that goal. And so, if the response from the conversations we have say that this is going to change the trajectory of educational outcomes, that would help. But we need to be convinced of that. So we're going to do more research on it, and I sense by the first week in March we'll have a public position on this issue.
I wanted to ask you about something else very interesting that I know you're interested in. AI starting to threaten white-collar jobs. This is a fascinating look at where we could go with AI. What are we talking about here?
Well, I mean, every technology that comes out, you look at this past 200 years, there's always like this technology comes out. What are people going to do? Where are they going to work? And that's just not the way technology works. Is technology actually, and there's pockets, but generally speaking for an economy, technology is good. It frees people up for more mundane tasks and gives them more professional tasks. And so I think we're in a region with the diversity of the economy we have in Milwaukee with financial services and manufacturing and healthcare. Artificial intelligence really could help free up some of these more mundane tasks. And we need that because right now, between now and 2040, our workforce is only projected to increase by 1%. That's not annually, that's 1% divided by 15 years. So we need technology to be more productive. And we've done that in a lot of different sectors, especially manufacturing here. So I think if you're fearful about your job with AI, you're going to be okay. I think AI will generally lead to more productivity and more efficiencies and a stronger economy.
Has the governor or the legislature taken any measures to kind of address what could happen in this area?
Yeah, so they're diving into it, and they have formed a committee, and there's some real talent on that committee, and so there's definitely ethical questions that are raised. There's legal questions that need to be raised. I mean, we're in a whole new uncharted territories, and so I think the state government's doing a good job of researching that. There's a particular state representative, Shannon Zimmerman, who started a software company in language. He's from the Hudson area. He's been an absolute leader on IT issues like that. I know he's involved with it. So what's great about the legislatures, you have citizen legislators who are in this world in the private sector. It's unlike Washington where they're full-time politicians. And so especially at the state level, I feel like we have the talent looking at this and making the right decisions on what our policy should look like.
MMAC's Dale Koinga is with us in the studio. I liked when I saw this story. It's about the Franklin headquarters for Carmex. So they're expanding. It's going to be really cool. They've committed to state of Franklin. How important is it when a big national company with a reputation like Carmex says, yeah, we're here to stay in Southeast Wisconsin?
Well, it's great. And it's a company that we're really proud of. I was just in Arizona, and I was in Arizona with some chapped lips. You know, you go run out there from the desert and chapped lips. And I walked into the University of Arizona gift shop, and there's Carmex. And there's no other brand here. That's go local. Let's support them, and it's the best. So it's really good. I mean, just think about, and just kind of like to tie that together, is one of the reasons that they are expanding here is the manufacturing activities credit. So it'd be very, we generally have high taxes in Wisconsin, but for manufacturers and agriculture, that's not the case. We make it very clear in state policy in Wisconsin that if you make it or you grow it here in Wisconsin, it's a tax-free activity. And so seeing a company like that just think about the square footage and the little tiny Carmex things of how much business they pump out. So it talks about the quality of their product. It talks about their dedication to our community. And it's a really cool place. I was there 4 months ago, and I think they have the world's largest organ in their plants.
Really?
I don't know what they're doing with that, with the new plans. And they have a lot of other neat collector stuff in there. So like many of these companies in Wisconsin, you go on those tours, and you're like, I did not expect to run into one of the biggest organs in the world here, but here I am.
That's so fun.
So very
That's
excited for
crazy.
them and their team and what they're doing. And a very proud MMAC member. Will be rooting for their future success.
So all week long, we've been doing stories on Valentine's Day, how gift giving is up. People aren't happy with their partners. 60% of them said that their partners would get an F for how they celebrate Valentine's Day, which is a stunning number. What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Oh, my gosh. Well, Jennifer and I have been married now we're approaching 17, 18 years. I don't know.
Congratulations.
We're both kind of like in the same thing on that. We don't keep the day. But so what are we doing? We're driving 4 kids in 4 different directions for volleyball and basketball practice. And then sometime around 9 o'clock, we will give each other a high five and say another day of logistics is done.
We made it.
And we'll probably, do a rain check and get out to one of the Bartolotta restaurants. And then eventually I'll get to Kessler's and buy her some jewelry or something. Maybe, I don't know.
And life will be good.
Life will be good. But as of today, we are just trying to survive as a family of 6 with volleyball and basketball going on and grades and everything else. So no big romantic Nicholas Spark moment in the Koinga household.
But you're on the same page, so that's all that matters.
Well, we are on the same page. Yeah. And not to sound too grandfatherly here, but as the years go on, that's kind of the way the love works. It's the everyday thing. It's not the Hollywood Valentine's Day marketing. It's kind
fireworks
of more
going off when the calendar flips to February 14th.
No, it's just we survived another day, and our kids are healthy and in the house and accounted for.
You're right. Hey, quickly, good news of the week. What do you got?
Oh, I mean, I'm always tied to vet issues, being a vet myself, and Milwaukee has affordable housing issues we're always looking at. We love our vets, and I think there's a real opportunity for, we talk about demographics, to get more vets in our community. So there's actually a tiny vet home project going on here that is gaining a lot of momentum and getting a lot of media stories, and so really excited to see the city of Milwaukee supporting that. A lot of businesses are coming alongside them. We at MMVC are coming alongside them and having conversations of what we can do to help. My administrative assistant, who we just hired from Mission, Wisconsin, which is a place that places veterans into our jobs. She's like grabbed onto this like this is her baby. So
that's awesome.
Angel Ramirez is all about this, and it's kind of fun to see the veteran community and business community in the city step up and say, yeah, why not? Let's make this happen.
That's fantastic.
That is good news, right?
It's very good news. That's great news. Dale Koinga is the president of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Always good to see you, Dale. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to this regular interaction.
Us too. It's going to be good stuff.
Sounds good.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ.
Hey, if you're sick and tired of those achy joints and dread the idea of surgery, it is time to call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. The state of healthcare is always evolving. The old ideas like steroids and surgery are no longer your only options. Try regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. It's transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, and drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Talking about knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain from arthritis or injury. Don't let the pain keep you from living your best life. Call QC QC Kinetics. Their advanced and state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. It's a revolutionary approach that will help you achieve long-term relief with no downtime. So make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility, your independence. Get out, walk, run, and play and live without the danger and trauma of surgery and without harmful drugs. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The Sheridan, Wisconsin book printing plant in Madison eliminates 116 jobs starting April 13th and continuing in phases until the plant closes on June 28th. With roots that go back 150 years, the company cited a significant downturn in business as the reason for the layoffs. Rosebud Cinema on North Avenue in Wauwatosa shows its first movies on February 14th after an almost 4-year closure. The nearly 100-year-old single-screen movie theater opened in 1931 and is currently operated by the Neighborhood Theater Group. Plans for a 17-unit affordable apartment building in Whitefish Bay move ahead after its developer secures a key village approval. The village's Board of Appeals overturned a December denial by the village's Architectural Review Board related to the building's design. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
As an independent tire and service center, our loyalty is to you, not the manufacturer.
It's the tire manufacturer's goal to design a superior tire.
But it's our job to ensure the right tires are properly installed on your vehicle.
A service our family has been independently providing for the past 2 generations. So make no mistake about it, our loyalty is to you.
And the dozens of tire brands we carry, like Goodyear, General, and Pirelli,
or Continental, Kelly, and Dunlop, well, that's for you too.
Because we won't know what type of tire you need until you get here.
So instead, we carry them all.
Because we install them all.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair.
Which means you're 100% covered.
No questions asked.
I guess you could call it family tradition.
Be safe, buckle up, and hey.
Always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. Your
due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service. Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Our patient's most common regret statement? I just wish I would have done this sooner.
Find out more at adventknows.com because breathing well will help you live better.
Griffin Service Department has a sweet deal for your Valentine's special, $179.95 for an oil change, tire rotation, air filter, wiper blades, complete multi-point inspection, and battery check. Available at all 5 Griffin Service Departments.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring friendly, people-oriented servers. You'll make real cash, full or part-time, and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: tragedy strikes at a Kansas City celebration.
Mike Spalding, potholes so soon.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do still have this issue on Capitol Drive eastbound between Brookfield Road and Calhoun. 2 left lanes are blocked, so it's going to be tight through there. Other than that, southbound 41 is backing up basically from Appleton Avenue all the way down to about Burleigh. Then we've got eastbound 94 slowing from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange with the westbound side backing up out of the Marquette out towards Hawley Road as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, a snow-rain mix likely. A low of 34 degrees. Tomorrow, that snow mix ends. Maybe a couple inches of snow. A little more north and west. A high of 38 tomorrow. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, one person is dead, at least a dozen others injured after a shooting at the Super Bowl parade for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's get the latest from ABC News.
This is a special report from ABC News. Gunfire at Chiefs rally. I'm Michelle Franzen. At least one person is dead and up to 15 others injured following a shooting in Kansas City at the Chiefs Super Bowl victory celebration. One fan described the chaos when the shooting began.
All of a sudden, people started crushing forward. Everybody started running. There was screaming. We didn't know what was happening, but this day and age, when people run, you run. And so I put my arms around her, and we tried to push through so people wouldn't run on top of us. And there was a woman crying, saying something about somebody had been shot.
Police say 2 people are in custody. ABC's Aaron Katursky says federal agencies are also assisting in the investigation.
One of the key questions will be, was this somehow due to an agenda, a political or social agenda, or was this the result of some kind of criminal activity? And that may be where police are leaning at this point, but they haven't said for sure.
Authorities estimate 800,000 people turned out for the Chiefs' victory rally. This is ABC News.
A tragedy strikes in Brookfield. The Brookfield Police Department says that at least one person has died after a multi-vehicle crash on Capitol Drive. According to a release from the Brookfield Police Department, the crash happened about 1 o'clock this afternoon. That vehicle was heading westbound on Capitol Drive, crashed into 3 vehicles that were heading eastbound. The police said the driver of that vehicle did die. This after life-saving measures were taken. Police identifying the driver only as a 40-year-old woman. 2 out of the 3 eastbound drivers have been taken to the hospital. All of them are expected to survive.
It may only be February 14th, but a springtime problem is already cropping up across the city of Milwaukee. Potholes. TMJ4's Mary Jo Ola.
Alderman Lamont Westmoreland and the Public Works Committee have now directed the Department of Public Works to lay out their plan to better address the issue. Now, DPW says right now they're balancing the early demand to respond with lower staffing levels than previous years, while they are still hiring to fill those vacancies.
It's a first come, first serve as best we can. We try to be efficient about scheduling crews. So sometimes we get to things a little bit earlier, a little bit later.
Now, DPW, in any case, is strongly encouraging anyone to report potholes over the phone, online, or using their mobile app.
The Department of Public Works says the busiest pothole filling time of the year for them is still mid-March through April.
The White House, meanwhile, urging negotiators to continue working at a ceasefire deal in Gaza. This after Israel's delegation decided not to return to Egypt this week for further discussion. It all comes as the IDF continues a campaign in Rafah where civilians are once again caught in the crossfire in Israel's war with Hamas. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan saying today Israel needs, quote, a credible plan for any military operation in Rafah to avoid civilian casualties.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
The largest industrial trade show in Wisconsin is the PFMA Plant Engineering and Maintenance Expo. Industrial professionals in charge of facility management and maintenance, purchasing, or manufacturing will save time learning about important advances all under one roof.
Skip the show day lines and go to pfmainc.com for fast and free pre-registration. The PFMA Expo, free with free parking, February 21st and 22nd at a new location, Washington County Fair Park in West Bend.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and so much more. Every unit is custom built. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
At the Bath Authority.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature brought to you by the Fredericton the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to reduce your risk. Here to talk about heart and vascular conditions and treatment options is Dr. Stefano Skena, a cardiothoracic surgeon from the nationally recognized Fredericton MCW Heart Team. Thank you so much for being with us, Doctor.
Thank you for inviting me.
What are common risk factors for heart disease?
Risk factors include a strong family history of cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, lack of exercise, poor diet, history of smoking and or heavy alcohol consumption, and advanced age.
What are the treatment options that your team offers?
We offer any type of option from advanced or complex diagnosis to medical management, ongoing follow-up with monitoring, and most importantly for our specialty, surgical intervention.
All right, so let's get detail on that. What type of surgical interventions does your team provide?
Although traditional heart surgery still has its place, and that include the historically most common surgical procedures such as coronary artery bypass, aortic valve replacement or repair, we cover all aspects of this from standard to minimal invasive treatment and more advanced and technological options such as robotic, thoracic and cardiac surgery. Our goal remains that to offer a treatment that is tailored to the patient specific risk factors and pathology, but always aiming at the least invasive option possible. So this includes minimal invasive approach and robotic options which favor prompt recovery and return to regular daily life activities.
Dr. Stefano Scena, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Find a doctor who's right for you by visiting freighter.com/heart.
Spectrum Business is made to work like your small business. Made to do it all with fast, ultra-reliable internet, phone, and mobile services. And made to work with a small business budget. Get 600 megabit per second business internet for just $49.99 a month for 1 year with select bundles. Plus, get an unlimited mobile line for free. Visit spectrum.com/work to lock in this deal now. Learn more at spectrum.com/work. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
Engagement rings, wedding bands, and big anniversary diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, glad you're with us on this Valentine's Day. Mike Spalding is here. Debbie Lazaga has got your traffic. I just walked in the newsroom. It's impressive. There's a bunch of people in there, Dylan and Julian and Jack and others. And Sam's producing the show this afternoon. All right, fellas, it's Valentine's Day. I tried to give you a heads up yesterday. And if you didn't get the heads up, there's still time. Walgreens, Target, Kohl's, still open. Swing by on your way home. I swung by a Walgreens earlier today on, actual Valentine's Day. Wanted to see how everybody was doing at the last minute.
All right, so here I am, walking into Walgreens. It's Valentine's Day. Let's see how many people waited to the last minute. In the door. Oh, there's flowers right away inside of here. Big sign, remember it's Valentine's Day. Over to the card section. Oh, lots of pretty stuff. I'm talking to people who are still shopping for Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's Day today.
Yes, it is.
You got something. That's beautiful.
Got to buy some chocolates for the fiance.
Oh, that's nice.
Last minute, but
it's not last minute. Don't beat up yourself. We got lots of time, right?
Yeah.
I work for WTMJ Radio. I'm talking to people who are shopping at the last minute. Look at you covering your face.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even on camera now.
You're not even on camera. You're shopping at the last minute, though, right?
That's not me. That's her.
Oh, that's you? She just sold you out. It's Valentine's Day, and you're still shopping. How are you feeling?
I'm all right. I got the candy. I didn't get the cards. Forgot about it.
We forget about things sometimes, right? You're in here now. Right. That's what matters.
That's right.
Well, good luck. You better get going. I expected to see men in here, but ladies, right? You still shopping for Valentine's Day?
Yes, sir.
You do know it's today, right?
Yes, sir.
How you feeling? You look a little nervous, like you got some work you still got to do today.
A little bit.
Yeah? You gonna
it's all in the bag, partner. I got it.
You got this? Okay, now you are busy. You got a lot of very cute things in your cart.
I'm actually getting for my kids.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah, I love them.
All right, so what about your man? You already got him taken care of?
No, not yet.
Not yet? It's Valentine's Day.
No, I'm going to grab him something in here also.
All right, so you're not forgetting about him?
Oh, no. Never can forget about him.
All right, now here's the question. You're in here shopping for him. Do you think he's got you all taken care of?
He's already gave me my gift.
He did? Mm-hmm. A man that's on top of it and early. He's making it hard for the rest of us.
Yeah, he's already gave my gift.
Wow. All right, happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
All right, I see a guy walking down the aisle over here. He looks like he's in trouble. You got something for your lady there?
Well, I haven't decided quite what I'm going to buy yet. I'm just looking.
You know what? Because it's got to be the right thing, right?
It's the right thing to do if I want to have peace in my home.
That's true. See, it's not last minute. It's being thoughtful and making sure it's the right thing.
I agree with you 100%. It's the right thing to do.
What about you? It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gonna get this done?
There's not much to choose from yet. So
yeah, that's because everybody else has already been in here.
Absolutely.
All right, I hear you. You're trying to help these fellas out. Give them some advice. What are they?
Flowers. Take them out to dinner.
Oh, they're dinner. See?
Oh, okay. I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah. All right.
So how long have you been married?
22 years.
Oh my goodness, you got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I've been married 45 next
Okay.
month.
45. You already got your Valentine's gift for your husband?
He's there, thank God.
Yeah, that's right. What's better than that, right?
He gave me a big hug this morning that said Happy Valentine's Day.
That's perfect.
That's right, it is.
Thank you guys for talking to me. You're a good sport. Good luck.
There's still time. I did go to the Walgreens here earlier today. There was like 3 cards left.
Yeah, it's bleak. Once you get to the midday on Valentine's Day, it starts to look pretty bleak. It's like pandemic style.
And there were no little teddy bears or hearts left. I mean, you'd have to buy a box of wine if you're looking for a really nice gift.
Well, that might not be a bad gift.
That's an all right gift, right?
When you buy cards, do you go expensive? Like, do you look for like the card, like get a Broadway paper or something like that, or are you just like, I'm going in there, I'm grabbing the card that says I love you, and I'm out of here?
I go in the middle. I do try to grab a card that feels like my voice, that feels like how I really feel.
Yeah.
But I also cannot pay $7.99 for a card. So
Jasmine
I try to go the middle.
She keeps them.
Oh,
like not
we do
only
too.
Valentine's Day. Yes,
Mike.
Along with the candles.
Yeah, we keep everything.
So I always feel bad. Like if I get a card that's just like the basic, I love you. Like
you can't do that because she's going to keep it and put it in a scrapbook.
She's going to point out 2024.
Yep.
That's the black sheep card.
Yep. Wow, he really went all in 2024, especially if it says $1.99 on the back.
Yeah, it's the 99-cent card. She's like, oh, you went on Valentine's Day. Oh, yeah, I did.
It's 5:14 at WTMJ. We're going to switch gears up next and bring you the latest on what's happening in Kansas City. A shooting at the Super Bowl parade. Law enforcement communication expert Annie Schwartz is with us live up next.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:15 for Matzik's Morning Minute during Wisconsin's Morning News. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds. Picked up by Lillard, lobs to Giannis, who thumps it down on the alley-oop. Every Monday and Friday at 8:15 during Wisconsin's Morning News.
Coaching in the arena and your jerseys hanging above you, I can turn to the players and say, guys, I swear to God, I play basketball. Just look up.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac.
John Mercure here for Dave Drakamp Heating. When you experience temperatures 10 degrees below zero, more than 15 inches of snow, rain showers, and sunny days in the 40s, all in a couple-week period, yeah, it can only mean one thing. You live in Wisconsin, and that prepared you to be ready for anything because here in Wisconsin, anything can happen with our weather. But fear not. For over 42 years, Dave Drakamp Heating has lived here too, right by your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens. Spring, summer, fall, or winter, even when they all happen at once, whenever you're experiencing a home comfort dilemma, just call the teams I trust at Dave Drakamp Heating. From free estimates for new equipment, routine maintenance to ensure your system is ready for anything, or because you simply have a question about your home comfort, get in touch with the teams that I trust at Dave Drakamp Heating. They've been coming to my house for more than a decade. Dave Drakamp Heating, because your comfort is their family's tradition. DaveDragamp.com. Check them out today. DaveDragamp.com.
With Social Security, the longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help you decide on the best decision for you and your situation. You spent decades paying in, optimize what comes out. Our experienced team can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides such as the Social Security decision. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Traffic is sponsored by the Delafield Brewhouse Restaurant and Brewery. Visit delafieldbrewhouse.com for daily specials.
The Delafield Brewhouse caters all events at your place or theirs with 5-star food and service. The Delafield Brewhouse in the heart of Lake Country. Call to schedule catering today.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey there, Deb.
Hey there, John. Eastbound on Capitol Drive. We still have this accident that's blocking the 2 right lanes, and it's slowing things down. It's between Brookfield Road and Calhoun Road where the actual accident is, and backups, of course, are heading into that area. Southbound 41 is going to be a bit slow from about Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Westbound 94 slow out of the Marquette interchange all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side slow from 76th Street all the way through the construction zone, through the Stadium interchange. Southbound 43 is a bit backed up from just north of North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a winter weather advisory for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and Dodge counties begins at midnight, runs till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. That snowy, rainy mix begins about midnight, a low of 34 degrees. It continues into the morning tomorrow, 2 to 3 inches for most people in Milwaukee and north. It's going to be heavy and slushy, a high of 38. Friday, flurries, a high of 31. Saturday, breezy, chilly, a high of 32. Sunday, sunny and mild, a high of 39 degrees. Right now, partly sunny and 42 degrees. Wanted to bring the latest on that situation in Kansas City. So the Chiefs are celebrating their Super Bowl victory. There's a big old parade. There's hundreds of thousands of people on the route, according to most estimates. And near the end of the parade, shots ring out. One person is killed. Between 10 and 15, according to law enforcement sources, are injured. A terrible situation. Wanted to bring in our law enforcement communications expert, Annie Schwartz, who's with us this afternoon. Annie, thank you so much for making some time for us.
Well, hey, John, I'm so glad you wanted to have the conversation. Thanks for having me.
So you advise police departments on how to handle situations, how to talk to the public. They came out in pretty short order, and the mayor and the police chief gave strong statements condemning what happened. When you see how they've handled things so far, what are your thoughts?
I thought they got out there in pretty short order. I know that the media always wants to hear more sooner, but you know, as we know and as we learn in these situations, first reports are always wrong. As we found out in this, I thought that there was a great job by their mayor and their police chief, Stacey Graves, who I know personally, and she was terrific today. She came back to the microphone after the presser was just about over and said, wait a minute, I just want to make sure that you all hear me tell you that these officers ran toward the gunfire. My officers ran toward the gunfire when everyone else was running out. And, you know, John, that's something we can never forget about our police. And you do such a great job by chatting with, with our officers when you get the opportunity. And you know this, that it is, it's the job. It's what they do. And they didn't stand around and vote on it. I'm sure they didn't stand around. They just went. And it's one of those days where the brave and amazing job our police officers do is on full display.
Annie, take us behind the scenes a little bit, if you could. When there's a major event going on like this, whether it's going to be a parade or a major gathering of some other sort, my assumption as just the person from outside of the room is that these discussions are had right beforehand with, hey, in worst case scenario, if we have to do something, here's how we're going to get organized. Here's what we're going to do. Has that always been the case, or is that something, as we seemingly see all this stuff happen at every major gathering now, that is being implemented at police departments across the country?
Well, it certainly has increased. It's certainly increased since in the last several years. I think that when we look back at one of the changes in policing has been the number of demonstrations and mass casualty incidents in the wake of any number of either political incidents Maybe there was, the George Floyd case in May of 2020 certainly kicked off a new learning process for police about how to handle mass incidents, large crowds, protests. From what I can see, and again, I wasn't there, and I'm, my expertise is in the area of communications and message sharing. From what I have seen, it certainly looks like they were ready for anything, which we're learning now we have to be. I mean, look at what happened in Waukesha. This year's Christmas parade was markedly different, obviously, than last year's Christmas parade, because we learn and we look at what happened. We start bringing up questions. One of the questions that a lot of people in my business, meaning the business of law enforcement communications, are talking about right now is, should we be sharing parade routes publicly? Are we sharing them? When we share them ahead of time, are we allowing, nefarious actors to have information that allows them to plan? Well, that's a balancing test. You have to decide, are we going to share parade routes ahead of time so people know where to go and where they can set up? This is the world we live in now, and it breaks my heart, which is the word everybody in policing is using right now to describe this incident. It breaks my heart that we're at that place. I think about the Bucs celebration and how terrific that was. The Bucs have an outstanding, security team. The Milwaukee police were ready for them when they had the celebration. But always in the back of your mind is, what is the worst case scenario?
Annie, you raised good points. Right outside Deer District when that happened, the next game, they decided we're putting up extra barricades, more officers, and everybody got wanded going into Deer District. You can't do that if you have a parade, and that leads to discussions I'm seeing online about how a few really bad apples are threatening to ruin this for everybody. Cities will be thinking now, not what's the coolest route where people can get the best vantage point, but what is the safest route? How do we minimize harm, and do we even have the parade? And that makes me sad, too.
Well, look what happened in the wake of the Waukesha Christmas parade massacre. The the police department, fire department went in front of the council and said, okay, here's how much we need to spend to get the appropriate barriers. I mean, they have everything short of the, anti-tank, blockades put up for the parade this year, because that's where we are. And it's heartbreaking to think. I was watching the coverage and seeing, parents running out with their kids who had little, maybe they had Chiefs, sweatshirts, or, holding a little, a little flag or something. This saddens me, just like it does, you, John, because we didn't come from this. And we're watching the change in law enforcement, and we're also watching the change in how law enforcement informs the public during these incidents, after these incidents. I watch it with a different eye, but I also watch it as someone who grew up going to parades and not thinking for a minute that this was something that you had to worry about.
Annie Schwartz, law enforcement communications specialist. Annie, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, John. I appreciate you having the conversation, and happy to always come on and kind of talk a little bit about how departments are messaging these kinds of incidents. And as they say, prayers for Kansas City.
Yep, you got it. It's maddening to me that as I watch the coverage come in, some media outlets just insist they're so obsessed with getting it first that they don't get it right. And there was a lot of speculation. There was a lot of, this could have been what happened. This is what we believe happened. And some of those early reports ended up being wrong. I will make this commitment to you on this show. We will never be so consumed with getting it first that we don't get it right. And we won't always have it first. We'll have it as fast as we can because you deserve that. But more than that, we're going to concentrate on making sure that you have it right. It is 5:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks rebounding nicely today. The S&P 500 up 47 points to close at 5,001. The Dow was up 152. It's back to 38,424. And the NASDAQ with a big jump, 204 points today to close at 15,859. Annex Wealth Management. Check out their tax planning. Check out their investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning guide. It's a fee-only fiduciary. It's annexwealth.com. John Mercure here for senior real estate specialist Bruce and Jean Nemovitz. I trust them I adore them. They're going to help you. If it comes time that you're thinking about moving out of your house and downsizing, maybe a senior community is what you're thinking about. Maybe mom and dad, it's time to have that conversation with them. And I know it's not easy. Bruce and Jean have all the expertise. They've got a stable of people that can help make the move easy, and they're going to bring all those people together on March 5th at Berner Botanical Gardens. A cool seminar, March 5th, 8:30 a.m. I will be there. Bruce and Jean will be there. 25 local senior community representatives, all sorts of people that make the move easy. It's free. Won't you come? You do need to register ahead of time for the free event on March 5th at 8:30 in the morning. It's free. Register at brucesteam.com, brucesteam.com, or give them a call. 262-242-6177. Write this number down. 262-242-6177. A free seminar on downsizing and making the move out of your house. March 5th, Berner Botanical Gardens. Doors open at 8:30. There will be a little bit of breakfast there. I will be there. So will a lot of speakers. Register for the free seminar at brucesteam.com or call 262-242-6177.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through the end of February, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has donated over $820,000, providing more than 2.4 million meals to people across southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenex are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Mike Spalding. A super celebration turns scary.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, westbound on 94, right about at 13th Street. We've got a crash off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. They're still working on the other accident on Capitol Drive eastbound between Brookfield Road and Calhoun. 2 right lanes are blocked with that, so hefty delays through that area. Back onto the freeway, though, southbound 41, slowing down from before Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down past Capitol Drive. The bypass, haven't talked about that in a little bit. We do have backups from Beloit Road all the way down and around the Hale interchange to Forest Home. And then on the westbound side, coming out of the Mitchell interchange, out past Loomis, where there's that construction zone. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly cloudy skies overnight. Tonight, a rain-snow mix is likely to move into southeast Wisconsin around midnight, an overnight low of 34 degrees. Tomorrow, that snow will come to an end early in the morning. Can expect about 2 inches of accumulation in Milwaukee. That number could jump up to about 4 inches to the northwest. A high tomorrow of 38 degrees. Right now at 5:30, it's 41 in downtown Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center,
I'm angry at what happened today.
That's Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves providing an update on a mass shooting this afternoon at the Super Bowl parade for the Chiefs. At least 1 person confirmed dead. Kansas City police say at least 3 persons have been detained, and Total of 22 people are injured. We get the latest now from ABC.
This is a special report from ABC News. Gunfire at Chiefs rally. I'm Michelle Franzen. At least one person is dead and up to 15 others injured following a shooting in Kansas City at the Chiefs Super Bowl victory celebration. One fan described the chaos when the shooting began.
All of a sudden, people started crushing forward. Everybody started running. There was screaming. We didn't know what was happening, but this day and age, when people run, you run. And so I put my arms around her and we tried to push through so people wouldn't run on top of us. And there was a woman crying, saying something about somebody had been shot.
Police say 2 people are in custody. ABC's Aaron Katursky says federal agencies are also assisting in the investigation.
One of the key questions will be, was this somehow due to an agenda, a political or social agenda, or was this the result of some kind of criminal activity? And that may be where police are leaning at this point, but they haven't said for sure.
Authorities estimate 800,000 people turned out for the Chiefs' victory rally. This is ABC News.
Near at home, a woman is dead following a car crash on Capitol Drive this afternoon. Brookfield police say that the woman's vehicle was heading westbound on Capitol Drive at about 1 o'clock when it struck a vehicle heading eastbound on the same road. 2 people in that eastbound vehicle were taken to the hospital but are expected to survive. A springtime issue for the city of Milwaukee is popping up earlier than usual this year due to a mild winter. And, of course, being roads pocked with potholes. TMJ4's Mary Jo Ola.
They highlighted that if you're seeing those potholes earlier, you're not alone and they're citing the weather. So today, Alderman Lamont Westmoreland and the Public Works Committee have now directed the Department of Public Works to lay out their plan to better address the issue. Now, DPW says right now they're balancing the early demand to respond with lower staffing levels than previous years while they are still hiring to fill those vacancies. Now, DPW believes that their new software system that they use behind the scenes is going to help make their work more efficient, although that just came online right before the new year, so they're still working to take advantage of that resource.
The DPW also says they've ordered more tools to help them deal with potholes on a more timely basis, though that equipment not expected until later this spring. Senate Democrats going on the offensive today. This after the House voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
House Republicans claim Mayorkas refused to enforce immigration law and breached the public trust. Senator Schumer called the House's action a sham and an embarrassment. He also said the evidence fell far short of the constitutional standard, which requires someone be found guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors. It will be up to the majority leader to bring up a vote on a motion to dismiss the charges, refer the matter to a committee, or proceed with a trial, which would require 67 votes to convict. Democrats and many Republicans have said that is highly unlikely. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 534.
News is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the once-a-year auto show sales event is on. Prime time to explore all that's new, score enticing offers, and get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Right now, well-qualified buyers can lock in 0% 5-year financing on favorites like the invigorating all-wheel drive Mazda CX-30 Carbon Edition, Premium, or Turbo models. Or get 0% 60-month financing on an off-road ready Mazda CX-50 Premium, Premium Plus, or Turbo models and be ready for spring and summer fun. Connect with Holiday and enjoy the relaxed, welcoming attitude, transparent, simplified buying approach, and genuine guest care that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State. Fans like me, you'll be in great hands with Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer and top-selling Mazda certified pre-owned dealer on your side. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
With the help of Less's Glass, you can have the shower you've always wanted. Heavy glass shower enclosures from Less's Glass are installed by the best in the business. And when you have a showroom to visit with over a dozen glass shower enclosures on display, there's no guessing games. See the ultimate in frameless shower design with doors mounted on smooth as silk, stainless steel barn-style rollers. This design combines the beauty and elegance of heavy glass with a minimalist look to create an ideal shower enclosure for tight spaces. Premium shower doors and custom-designed all-glass enclosures. When you work with Less's Glass, you're working with a company that really can do it all. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
You're gonna love it
St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Join Special Olympics Wisconsin at this year's Polar Plunge, celebrating 25 years of plunging. The Polar Plunge raises funds for Special Olympics Wisconsin athletes. Folks in the area will be freezing for a reason on Saturday, February 24th at Foxbrook Park in Brookfield. This is your chance to support athletes who are breaking down barriers to build communities of inclusion. Register today and do your part for Special Olympics Wisconsin. Visit plungewi.org for details or to donate. That's plungewi.org.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
All right. TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Nisnansky is with us on Valentine's Day. Niz, what do you guys do for Valentine's Day? You're working tonight, right?
Not a whole lot. I was thinking, yep, I'm working tonight. I was hoping to get lunch with my wife, Julie, today, but then she ended up having too many meetings. So I'm hoping if I get home on a break tonight that there is a really nice gourmet heart-shaped cheese pizza waiting for me. That would be great.
That's classic, especially you got with your beautiful little family.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and I'm serious. That would be the perfect dinner for. I know there are many people out there who have families, and this is just yet another weeknight, right? But I got a text message already that my oldest was snooping for her Valentine's. I got a little baggie of stuff, and they already found them. But I said, you cannot open it until I get home.
Wait till I get home. Do you and Julie exchange cards or gifts?
We do. Usually it's don't do anything. But then I know that's code for you better at least do something. So
yeah, even if it's small.
I'll end up getting her something. Usually we're right on the fringe of that millennial thing where it's all about experiences, right? Versus gifts. So we try to make a point of having a nicer dinner somewhere close to Valentine's Day or, doing something nice.
I tell my wife it's an experience opening Hershey's Kisses. I mean, that's an experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it becomes a family event. I got 3 girls in the house, my wife and my 2 daughters. So on Valentine's Day, if I can get home on a dinner break, we tend to make it more about the kids. And maybe this weekend, Julie and I will be able to get out.
So one year, our girls were only 4 years old, and the babysitter canceled. And so we took the girls with us to dinner on Valentine's Day. And it was so awesome, and
romantic.
They behaved that became our tradition. So then for the next 15 years after that, the 4 of us always went to dinner on Valentine's Day, and it was pretty cool.
How romantic, right? Yeah. But it is. I mean, Valentine's Day, as you become a father, it becomes obviously a little bit different. You got to find that right time to, make sure you're letting your wife know that she's the one, but it becomes a family affair for sure.
Boy, we got an active little weather pattern that's setting up to be here in a handful of hours, huh?
Yeah, totally. I mean, this isn't a major winter storm. However, I will say this is a pretty potent system. The thing is it's compact, it's quick moving, so it's not going to dump huge amounts of snow for the area. But enough, in fact, enough that I kind of wish it was going to bring us quite a bit of snow, because if we're going to get 2 to 4 inches in some spots, I'd rather get enough to that people could go and actually snowmobile and stuff like that.
Yep, I kind of agree with you. So how's it setting up? When does it get here, and how much do people get?
Yeah, so anybody who does have, Valentine's Day plans, if you're going to be going out tonight, I think you're fine. Just don't make it too late of a night. I would say we're staring down the initial rain and snow coming in around midnight tonight, maybe a little bit sooner. And then it continues through the early morning hours and then wraps up by around 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So if you have an early morning commute to work, that could be an issue. I think if you have a later morning commute, you should be in pretty decent shape, except for just a little bit of slush and some wet roads. As far as the snow amounts go, I think here in Milwaukee, we're going to see enough rain mixing in at times that we're probably going to end up with 1 to 2 inches of really wet, heavy snow. But then you just get northwest. west, immediate suburbs, maybe even like the northwest side of Milwaukee, like up towards Granville. That's how close it is to maybe getting as much as 4 inches of snow, very wet, heavy snow. And again, that 4-inch possibility goes all the way up to like West Bend and Fond du Lac as well. So locations down towards the state line, if you're listening down towards Kenosha, Lake Geneva, you may end up with nothing but mainly rainfall. So this isn't a big snowmaker for much of the area.
So out of here by, end of morning rush tomorrow, then what do the next few days after that look like?
By the afternoon tomorrow, we might have more sunshine. Temperature tops out around 38 degrees, so we'll see some of the snow melt.
Wow.
Now, what could be good is that the weekend does cool down enough, Friday a high of 32, and then Saturday a high of 30, that if there is still at least a few inches of snow on the ground, maybe we actually have some decent days that you can get out and enjoy it. Maybe go sledding this weekend. That was the bummer of the snow last time. It just got so darn cold immediately afterwards, no one could even enjoy it, and then it just melted away. So maybe we hit a sweet spot of some actually decent weather, winter weather this weekend, guys.
All right, enjoy that heart pizza tonight.
I hope so. I hope she's listening. If not, I'm texting right now.
Yes, text her right now. Heart pizza. I'll be home after the news.
ASAP.
All right,
yes.
See you, Nez.
Later.
5:43 at WTMJ. So we've been talking all week about the legislative maps, and it has been very quiet the last 24 hours from the governor's office. So they were the governor's maps. They were approved by the Senate and the Assembly yesterday, sent on to the governor. The governor's indicated, hey, if you send me my maps with no changes, I will sign them into law. Well, there's one big thing. They changed a tiny little thing, and that is when they will go into effect. Will the governor still sign those maps? Jeff Mayers, president of WIS Politics, with us up after Debbie helps get you home on WTMJ.
Winter, according to some expert, is 3 months long. Well, that expert clearly never lived in Wisconsin. I'm Randy Miller, second-generation owner of All Right Home and Remodeling. As Wisconsin natives, we understand the bitter cold, biting winds, and how to help you improve your home with new windows, siding, proper insulation, and more. So you'll be fully prepared for winter, all 8 months of it. Visit us at ALLRITE remodeling.com.
All right, home and remodeling.
John Mercure here for Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. I love my dogs, Bella and Baxter. They've become like the kids in our house since the kids aren't there anymore. And a lot like raising children, they didn't always listen so great. So I started working with Matt and his teams at Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. They are absolutely awesome. We've had a great experience, even better results. Our dogs are better behaved. As a client, I know the good work Sit Mean Sit does. I just trust them. Best trainers, best techniques. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Contact Sit Mean Sit Dog Training today to schedule a free consultation. That's what we did. SitMeanSitWaukesha.com.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Sick of being bullied by your bank with surprise fees, getting stuck on hold, and bankers who don't get you? Wintrust takes a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, Wintrust has local experts ready to lend a hand. Stop banking the same way and expecting different results, and start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/bully-free. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. How's that ride rolling, Deb?
Well, we still have this accident on 94 westbound right about at 13th Street. It is off on the right shoulder, so that's going to be affecting your ride through the Marquette. Stays kind of heavy all the way out to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side's backing up from 84th Street to about 35th. We've also got this accident in Capitol Drive eastbound between Brookfield and Calhoun. 2 right lanes still blocked with this, so watch out for those backups through there. And in the bypass from Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange, going to be heavy to about just past Forest Home. And the westbound side's backing up out of the Mitchell through the Loomis construction zone. Hey, while you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you do happen to see something you think we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Big news yesterday, and it's still undetermined exactly what is going to happen, is that the Republicans in both chambers have passed Tony Evers' maps, the maps that he recommended, and they've sent them back to him to be signed. Now, the real reason they're doing this is because they're deathly afraid that the Supreme Court's going to come back with maps they like even less. I wanted to get some perspective, and I have a couple questions about how this will play out and what it means for all of us that live in Wisconsin. One of the brightest political minds I know is Jeff Mayers. He's the president of WisPolitics. He is with us on the hotline. Jeff, good afternoon. Thanks for being with us.
Of course, John. How are you?
I'm good. So I guess the first thing I want to do is ask you if I made the right assumption. Did Republicans pass this because they thought it was the lesser of two evils?
Yes. They're afraid of what the newly liberal Supreme Court is going to do. And so they said, well, Evers' maps don't look so bad. So Evers